Hey, what's going on, everybody? 101 Weekly. Welcome to everybody. How you doing? How you doing, everyone? Still waiting for Tony and Ebony to come, but we've got the African Gooner here. The African Gooner, how you getting on, bro?
Yeah, it's lagging quite a bit. I'm assuming that you just did an introduction for me. Yeah, things are doing well. Doing well, Apollo. Work's been quite hectic on my end. And to be honest, to step away from I guess transfer rumors and stuff because this type of thing sucks you in as an Arsenal fan, and you spend a lot of time on it, and it drains me sometimes. I mean, even small things like Aubameyang's contract extension. It's been weeks now. To the point that even if it gets announced, I'm pretty much over it. It's been sucked out of me. So yeah, things are going well on my end.
Excellent, excellent. And we got Tony here as well. Tony, what's going on, bro? You don't you don't normally do the Wednesday show, Tony.
I don't know. I usually have something else, but I've got a free weekend, a free Wednesday, so nice
Excellent.
to be here.
How are you getting on? How are you getting on? First of all, most importantly, how is school going for you this week? Because I'm hearing so much things going on now. My son called me up. He said, "Dad," I just picked up the kids from school, and he's already heard 2 schools in Harrow was shut down, and 1 in Wembley shut down. And I'm just thinking, oh Lord, not even 48 hours,
Dude, you will not believe this. I went to pick up my son this afternoon from school. He comes home with a temperature. We're going to get him COVID tested tomorrow.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And the problem is like I said to my wife, the problem is they're going out there to school, bundling up with everybody and bringing it home to the parents. And that is like an accident waiting to happen. Oh man, I hope
he's wrapped up in bed right now. So yeah, that's why I literally just was rushing down because I've just set him to bed, and this has been a nightmare week for me in terms of just seeing what's going on at school. I just don't like what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
One of the other issues with the kids all now being back at school is if you're walking down a pavement after school's finished, you can't get down the street. I live in a village. I live in Ching Village, and where I live, there's a lot of old people.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing them having to walk around kids in the street in order to get to where they're going. And I'm like, this is wrong. This morning I'm seeing like adults, grown pensioners struggling to get through traffic of children.
Oh my word.
It's nightmarish.
So I don't know where we're going to be in the next 2 weeks of this. I mean, we're not even 48 hours into it, and 3 schools in my area have already. That's just the ones I know of. 3 schools have already shut down. African Gooner, what's actually going on in your country, in your area? Are you having any more outbreaks?
To be honest, I think the number of cases spiked and then came back down. We're actually on level 2. It's been a while since I gave you guys an update, actually. So we're on level 2 now, which means theaters and I guess retailers and stores are now open, but like restaurants and stuff have separated tables and stuff. So you can go out. Obviously, you have to wear a mask to take your temperature and stuff if you want to sit in a restaurant or go to the movie theater. So a lot of things are open. There's quite a few people. I did hear about the UK and your, I guess, 6-person rule. I think the rule in South Africa is, I think, you can't have a gathering of more than 50 people together. I think that's what it is. And I did share a video with you guys. I went and played soccer for the first time on Saturday, and that was, I mean, yeah, it was crazy. I mean, that's the first time in my entire life that I haven't played in such a long period, and it felt just completely lost sight of the ball. I mean, the touches, just everything just felt very, very different. So yeah, it's quite interesting here in South Africa, but I think things are progressing for us over here.
Yeah, and Ebony, welcome to the panel, Ebony. How's your week going so far? We're just talking about the distress of seeing kids going back to school. My son, my wife dropped my son off at West Herts College in Watford, and about 2:30, she's like, Apollo, you're gonna have to go and pick him up because he don't want to really jump on a bus right now. So, and luckily he only goes 2 or 3 days a week, but it's just a cesspool out there at the moment. It's just a cesspit.
Yeah. Hi guys. Yeah. I mean, the company I work for, you know, I work for a rail company. I'm not going to say which. So this morning at the station that I was at, there were like a plethora of school kids wearing masks. I mean, they don't seem miserable, but you know, it's actually quite weird seeing school children in this day and age wearing masks. I mean, we know why they're wearing masks, but part of me feels that it's kind of strange. But yeah, I mean, but you know, where I worked this morning it was quite busy, and you know, people are just getting on with it, really. I mean, most children, I guess, want to go to school. And I guess most children want to get back to some form of normality. But, you know, the difference being is that they have to wear a mask, and a lot of students are going to school in a staggered style. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's been busy, but you know, it feels kind of strange seeing children with masks, and it feels strange, and it feels strange wearing one as well sometimes. You know, I mean, sometimes I forget, because I'm so used to not wearing a mask, and a lot of the time I'm in the office, and I forget to put it on when I'm dealing with people, and even when I'm going into a shop, I forget to put it on, and then I think, oh right, I've got to put it on again. So it's something that we've got to get used to.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. Anyway, guys, listen, I just want to say welcome all the guys in the panel. You guys make me laugh. Before me and African Gooner turned the show on, there was already 7 people sitting and waiting for us. So, guys in the panel, good to hear you guys having a great week. In the chat room, what's going on? What's going on, Figure? And it's Figure, yes, not Frigga. Yeah, nice one, D. Big up to you, bro. Nice one, Vincey. What's going on? Cool K in the house.
What's up, Tom?
Yeah, what's going on, Carlito? What's up, David? What's up, David? David's talking about that Tottenham fever. Mezzo breaking a joke about them today, which was quite funny. 18 in the house. What's going on, brother? Cricket Ball's in there as well. Let me see if I can find him. Where the boy there? Where there? Yeah, when there, right? This Cricket Ball. Yes, what's going on? What's going on, bro? And Leander had to. This guy is the same picture, but this guy changes his name every week. What's going on, bro? What's going on, man? Listen, guys, let's kick off. We got quite a bit, not a lot to get through today, but it's going to drag on a little bit with the predictions. So I just want to go through some of the polls, guys. First of all, I want to say thank you, everybody, for being an active part of the polls. We're throwing them up every day because we want to hear what you guys are thinking. We want to hear what's on your mind. And all the guys, Tony, Bertram, Ebony, African Gooner, Dan, Neomis, you know, all of the guys are really coming up with different various topics to keep you guys busy. The one today we've got is, how do you think, and also Tom, I believe that this was Tom's one, how do you think playing behind closed doors affects Arsenal? Yeah, how do you think it affects Arsenal? And 62% of you says positively, 21% says negatively, and 17's like, it ain't got no much difference. Anybody want to chime in on that poll?
Yeah,
I think it's actually done all right. I think it's I think the atmosphere, or the pretend atmosphere, I guess helps. You know, when you hear that noise of the crowd, I think
the players don't hear that. The players don't hear that. They hear literally just silence. It's only us can hear that.
Okay, well in that case, maybe it's a positive thing in the sense that they're not getting abuse when Leno is in goal.
Yeah, I think, you know, the atmosphere at the Emirates is a little weak at times. And I think that when the team's not playing well, they feel that in the crowd, and they're not actually getting that at all. So they're free to go and play whatever football they want. And away from home, remember, we looked at the home field advantage. There is none. When you don't have fans in the stadium, actually away teams have got a better record than the home teams. So I think that this is absolutely working for Arsenal at the moment. What's your thoughts, Tony and the African Gooner?
My thoughts are, this is brilliant for Mikel Arteta, because in his formative time at the club, you know, he's obviously having to, you know, coach from the sideline. He could do it with no noise in the background. So he must be absolutely loving it. And you can see how good a coach he is. So, you know, he can see stuff in the game and make, you know, passing comments, give instruction. So I think it's good. I think it's good because our coach is one of the best coaches out there, and he can see and make adjustments without fan noise.
Yeah, I think the African Gooner a couple of weeks said that you can actually hear Arteta speaking various different languages to the players.
Yeah, so it was actually specifically against the game, in the game against Man City. He was telling Pepe, press him. He's gonna come onto his right foot. Like he knows the player. So he was telling Pepe, go push on him because he's gonna make a mistake because he can't use that foot. So go for it. And that was just incredible for me to see. And I agree with the panel. I mean, definitely positive in the fact that we know, and let's not lie, when we start playing badly, the crowd definitely gets onto the team, and the team definitely feels the pressure. And I think it's a good and a bad thing. I mean, obviously, before the virus, we would never have known how, you know, a stadium or how soccer would be or football would be without fans, right? So for me, as Tony alluded, I mean, 100% Arteta can get his message across. I think the players are much more focused because they're not focusing on anything else but the game, right? Really. So it's interesting. And I'm even going to go as far to say that I don't think we would have won the FA Cup, and we would have won the games that we won, Chelsea and Man City, if fans were in the stadium. I honestly don't believe that. I think that really helped us because if Xhaka or anybody in the team started making mistakes, it would have been, I think it would have been chaotic.
But do you not think sometimes the cheering of the fans actually helped cheer them on?
Yes, 100%, but that's only when the team is playing well. We were in a stage where the team is very iffy, and I still think we are still in a stage where the team isn't at the best that it can be. And I'm hoping that fans come back when the team is set up, and you know what I mean? They're comfortable with each other, and we're on a gear that the only way that the fans can impact is to push the team even onto another gear. I don't want it to come down a gear. I want us to keep pushing up gears, and I think that the virus has helped us do that.
And guys, the next poll, which is it's about Guendouzi, and it's Guendouzi sends a message to Arteta saying he's ready to fight for his place. That was after the French, they played 2 games for France, won them both, and he was interviewed and he said, look, I'm ready to come back. And that's actually good news for people like me who are big Guendouzi fans. But if you think about selling people and African Gooner, and if you think about people who are talking about selling players and getting money and to get party and everything, Tony, what's your thoughts on that? But so also, by the way, it was 37% of fans would take him back and 63% of fans would just sell him.
So my view is we need the game changer. We need the game changer. And that man is Thomas Partey. He is, for me, the game changer. Jose Mawar is a nice piece to have, but he's not an essential piece to have. Right now, we have an opportunity like we'll probably not have for a long time to bring in, you know, a Patrick Vieira Part 2, version 2, Mark 2. We have to grab this by hook or by crook. This deal must happen. That's my own feelings. And I don't care who goes. I really don't. I don't think anybody, with the exception of Aubameyang. Yeah, I'd literally let any player in our team leave if we can get Partey.
Including Martinez. Martinez is probably
I'd
just
let him go.
Me too.
Because you know what? I think this guy is the difference. The difference.
Yeah, Dee agrees with you and David doesn't. It's a bias.
Bias is not even in that league.
Yeah.
Partey and Bias are different players.
Mad. So, African Gooner, what's your thoughts on that? I know Guendouzi is a big. He's probably, in my opinion, I think he is our most talented youth player out of all of them.
Yeah, I actually have a couple points on this one. The first is he's definitely top 5, I think, at Arsenal, and I mean I'll put that out there. I think he's in that top 5 in terms of talent. Tony's right; he's not a game changer. But before I go on to that, my first question is: do we think that Arsenal have forced, or not forced, but put pressure on Guendouzi to come out and say this, so that other teams might, change the narrative, right? If Guendouzi's saying he's ready to come back to Arsenal, then maybe other teams are more likely to say, you know what, if he's going to go back to Arsenal and start playing, we might actually be interested now, right? It might be a tactical thing where beforehand people are like, yeah, no, he's not even going to be playing for Arsenal. He's not part of the setup. Why do we want him? And that's why we were struggling to sell him. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's something I was thinking of. Maybe Arsenal have put that pressure on him to come out and say this.
Yeah, I do actually believe what you're saying there, African Gooner. I believe there's a lot of stuff that is being put out there just to antagonize and to irritate people into thinking, right, we got to make a move and we got to do it quickly.
Interesting.
The other thing for me is Tony is right, 100%. I would sell anyone apart from Aubameyang, Pepe, Tierney, Martinelli, Saka. I would sell Martinez, but 20 million for me is a joke. I mean, I can't believe that Arsenal are willing to accept 20 million. I'm willing to sell him. If you give me 25, 30 million, 100% take him. But for 20 million, I feel cheated. So
I feel cheated being left with Leno. I mean, I think Leno, we can get more money for Leno, 30 million. And I think that we'll be left with the better goalkeeper. I think that's a win-win for us. I think if you sell Martinez, it's a lose-lose because you'll get low value when the guy is worth way more than that. He's worth double more than that. And obviously he's a better goalkeeper.
Get low value? It's not like we have to sell him. He's not like in the last year of his contract.
Yeah, but you don't want to go with 3 goalkeepers, do you? I mean, especially 2 good ones. I mean, they're both good goalkeepers. But the thing is, in terms of like when I talked about Lacazette and Leno the other day, those are 2 players who realistically have been pushed out of their positions. Yeah. So if you can get 30 million for each one, it's job done. You're not going to miss them.
Absolutely.
And that's why I mentioned it on the video a couple of days ago. Got some questions from the guys here. One of them says, hi guys, heard that Aubameyang has signed, should be this week. I dropped a video on the channel yesterday to talk about that. So really the answer's in there. He's just waiting out. He's just being smart, and any person in Aubameyang's position would do that as well. Next question from Victor on a separate question. Why don't they play the cheering sound in the stadiums, in the speakers? That was part of the conversation when they were talking about it in phase 2 of coming back, and the players voted it out. They said no. So guys, the last one, Ebony, did you have a word on that one, on Guendouzi?
I like Guendouzi. I think he's talented. I think, he can make a difference to a certain extent. But, I mean, I've always said that I wouldn't want to see him go, because knowing us, we'd let him go and he'd, be a much better player for another team. So
here's one for African Gooner. Go on.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if we can keep him and he can be developed by Arteta, then it's a win-win for us.
So a couple things maybe before we move on. So in terms of Martinez, Ebony's right. He probably will be a better keeper, but he's going to play for a lower team. So I don't think we're going to, it's not going to be like he's going to become the #1 goalkeeper in the Premier League, right? I mean, if he goes to Aston Villa, come on, he's going to concede goals no matter how good he is, right? And in terms of Guendouzi, just going back on that point, if we get Thomas Partey and we have Guendouzi in that team, because I don't buy this. I've watched some other Arsenal channels on YouTube and stuff, and some people think that we're actually going to buy Aouar and Partey. I cannot put myself into that position because I'm just allowing my heart to be broken. So I'm not even thinking about that. I don't think that's realistic for us. So my opinion is get Partey and play Guendouzi as that creative player. We know he can do it. He can definitely be that creative player and be a stopgap until January, maybe, if we need that time until January to go and get Aouar. So, I mean, he needs to be integrated back into the team, because I don't think that Ozil is going to come back and be this, be it end all. It's going to be the same old thing with Ozil. 1-2 games, he's going to be phenomenal. He's going to have an assist. Fan bases are going to go and meltdown. Oh my God, Ozil's incredible. And then it's going to be back to the same old, stuff. And I'm not willing to do that.
So we got the last question before we get into our main topics. It's Sydney saying also just read that, yeah, be careful of the reading because there's a lot of that around, bro. Also read that Arsenal are ready to meet parties release clause. Answer to that is they had told Atletico that they were willing to do that in June, 2 months ago. So yes, that's been the truth, and it's been the truth for a while. I think credit should go to Atletico because they're the ones that are giving Partey his wish. They've allowed Partey to negotiate personal terms, which he has done with Arsenal, but they're giving Arsenal the time to come up with the money, and that's fair. You can't ask for more. He says also read Arsenal and Leon have agreed a deal with our. No, they definitely have not. In fact, I was just telling African Gooner today, 5 minutes before the show started, Colin just texted me and said that Arsenal are going to go in tomorrow morning with a third bid. So there's no agreement. There's no agreement at all when it comes to OR. But Arsenal definitely want that player. That is for sure. He's one of their main targets. Also, are we selling Emi? My opinion, no. I think a lot of this is just a smokescreen by his agent to try and get a good deal. Because look, he's in the middle of negotiating a deal with Arsenal at the moment, and his agent talking to other teams like Aston Villa is just urging Arsenal to pay Emi what he wants. And you know, he wanted two things. He wanted the games. Arteta started him in the Charity Shield. He could have started Leno. You know, Leno's played 2 games for Germany since then. You know, so Leno's fit, but he decided to choose Martinez. And the telling story is going to be who starts this weekend. If it's Martinez, then that's the ball that's dropped because they don't want to lose that player. If you're Arteta, as smart as Arteta is, why would you want to lose a guy that's shown you what he's shown you and go back to what we've seen from Leno? Now, Leno, to all his credit, he's a good goalkeeper. He's a brilliant shot stopper, but he makes a lot of mistakes. And it's not just lately he's been making them. He made them when he was in Germany. It's something that hasn't really changed with the player. So I don't think you go away from what you've found and go back to that. Yeah, I just don't think you do it. Not if you're Arteta. Arteta's way smarter than that. So, yeah, that's where we are on that one. So, guys, let's get into, yeah, we just talked about the Aura, so I don't really need to comment on it. But you guys tell me where you are with Aura.
I want to chip in on this because I just kind of feel that if Arsenal are pursuing 2 major players ranked around the 40-45 million pounds each, then there's something in the finances that obviously allows them to get 2 deals on the table. Yeah. Now I know they're looking at big money for Torreira. I know they're getting bits and pieces done with some of the other players. And obviously, you know, Guendouzi would be a big chip. If we were to sell Martinez, that would be a big chip.
I think the one you're missing is Lacazette. I think it's the Lacazette issue because I heard this morning I was talking to James B about it, and James was just like, Apollo, they're not even close to sitting down and talking to this guy about an extension. He's actually now saying, look, I want to stay. But Arsenal are just like, you know what, we probably don't need you at the moment. They really like Eddie Nketiah.
They probably don't, but the point is there appears to be no interest. You know, we've all been saying, we've all thought for ages that a deal with Lacazette to Atletico makes absolute sense.
For both teams.
They need a striker. We need their midfielder.
Yeah.
So do a deal somehow. So how that deal hasn't happened, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, listen, if they were to say, well, I'll tell you what, we'll take Lacazette and we want 20 million, I'll still do the deal. I know that only values Lacazette at 15 million, but I still do the deal. So I don't know how that is being structured. We've heard nothing about it. But as I said, the main thing is we are seeing both deals are in play. And that tells me there's something behind the scenes that we're not aware of in terms of Arsenal's capability. If they don't have 60 million in the bank right now ready to go and pull on some deals, I don't think they're talking to both clubs. I think they're going, okay, we've got 60 million, we're going at him.
So from what I understand,
Lacazette was meant to go to Atletico in the first place before we got him. So
yeah, they want him. Yeah, they want him. They wanted him when we bought him.
so that does make sense to do a deal. You know, I mean, if it's a swap deal, do it.
So a couple of things.
I mean, I'd rather see Lacazette go than Emi.
Yeah, a couple of things from my side. The first one is in regards to Martinez and Leno. I wouldn't mind playing or telling Martinez, listen, play all the Premier League games and have Leno play all the Europa League and the rest of the games. I don't think that they would have an issue with that. I think Emmy would be happy to start all the Prem games, and I don't think Leno will put up a fuss, if you play the Europa League games and the rest until it gets to like the knockout stages, and that's when you say, okay, who's the better keeper? And then in the quarterfinals and stuff, you play the best keeper. In regards to what Tony was saying about Thomas Partey and Atletico Madrid, I mean, what you just said, you're saying that Lacazette is worth 25 million? No way, man.
No,
If Thomas Partey is worth 25 million and you're saying give me Lacazette and 20 million, that's insane. But I agree with you. I would do it, but it's just hard for me to accept and swallow that Lacazette is only worth 25 million. So
look at last season's goal.
You're not getting a return on.
I think you've got to base it on last year's goal output.
Yeah. And that's the reason why. Look, this question has come up here. Where is it here? Have I just lost the question? Oh, here it is. How many goals would Nketiah get this season? My answer to that is more than Lacazette did last season.
No,
that's all I can tell you, bro.
No way.
That's all I can tell you, bro. Yeah.
No way. I'm saying this, and again, it's not biased, and it's nothing to do with my my feelings on Nketiah. But I think Lacazette seriously had a bad season. I think this season he'll score 15 goals easily, and I don't think Nketiah is gonna score that goals. I'm sorry. I know he scored 4 goals for England, man, and I thought
it's not about that. I think we have to pull ourselves back to the original conversation where Thierry Henry said, if you're not getting more than 20 goals in a season, your team is not. Look at Liverpool. If you look in the top 10 scorers in the league, Liverpool's got like 3 players in there. Yes. So if you've got Aubameyang scoring all the goals and you've just got nothing, no support, and Lacazette offered them no support last season, and 18 months to score away, we can't carry things like that. You're not going to be a top team.
You're taking situations. That's never going to happen again. Lacazette is never going to go 18 months again without scoring. I mean, if that does happen, 100%.
But it's just not good enough. We talked about Giroud weren't good enough. This guy isn't doing what Giroud did.
But this
Sorry, Tony, go
on this one. Olivier Giroud scored for France this week. Does that tell you all you need to know about Lacazette? Olivier Giroud scored for France this week.
Wasn't Lacazette carrying an injury?
No, he's not even close to that
I'm
squad.
not sure, yeah.
He's not even he's probably about 8th. They still have players loads of players could play for France that ain't getting a look in.
Yeah, I agree with D. If Nketiah starts this season, he'll get a minimum of 15 goals. I think
he'll get 15 goals, and he has the capability of doing it.
Yeah, we're not talking about Welbeck and what Lacazette did last year, 10 goals. This guy will score you goals. Trust me. You know what made me laugh? The goal he scored yesterday was just. I laughed when I saw the goal because everything we talk about with Nketiah in terms of his defensive work, it just brings him so much opportunity. He just out of nowhere, the pace and the quickness over 10 yards, boom, the defender didn't even know what was on him. He pounced on him like a Black Panther and boom, balls in the back of the net. Lovely.
We know that playing for England is always different from playing for your team. But I just think that, if Nketiah takes all of his chances, which he can, he has the capability, he will make mistakes, he will score 15, 20.
He's developing so quickly. It's good, man. So, guys, we're going to, I think we already done the Guendouzi. Would you let him back in? Yeah, we've already done that.
Yes.
Guys, we didn't really want this to come, but it's come. David Luiz is reported to be a huge doubt. Forget doubt for Saturday. They're testing him now. He has a neck injury, and they don't know the prognosis. They're saying it could be 4 to 6 weeks, but actually the prognosis is not going to be until. Sorry about this.
Victor also scored an international goal this week. Tony, yeah, good point.
Who's that?
Victor in the chat. Telling Tony that Xhaka also scored this in the international break. So what does that mean?
It means that he scored again. Remember, I said to you guys, he scored 12 goals for Switzerland and 10 goals for Arsenal in the last 7 years.
The more confidence that guy gets, the better. Because we all know he's not going anywhere.
Yeah. True.
Let's be honest.
Jack is still shit.
He's one player who isn't being talked about with any club saying we want to take Xhaka.
You know why?
But listen, if Owa comes in and puts him on the bench, I'm good with that. Bring on Owa, man.
I don't think it does. I don't think they're two different kind of players.
They are.
If you get Partey and Aouar, 100% he's on the bench. If you get one of the two, then he's going to be in there.
Yeah. All right, guys. So guys, let's focus on LUIZ's injury because the guys in the chat are already starting. So David Luiz, guys, could be out for an extended period, and that's probably why they're trying to retain Rob Holding. Tony, you got the conch, man. David Luiz, you know. Man, we're seeing mentoring Gabriel today.
It's no biggie, man. We got stallions in the camp. Yeah,
but bro, those stallions were being they were being taught by Luiz today. Did you guys see the David Luiz Gabriel training? Yeah, brilliant.
And you know what? These, every year we get this preseason training videos, and I love it. I guess it gives me such a good feeling to know Saliba, Gabriel, Ceballos, they're all there. They're all training hard. And you know what? We've got a nearly easy-ish game. I don't like to preempt it. Fulham will come with their hard ball. But let's be honest, we should beat Fulham away. It's been happy hunting ground for us. I have loved going to Fulham. I'm gutted I can't go there because it's a ground I love. Right over the river, beautiful sunny day on a summer, and normally it's a great away day. I expect us to go out there, impose our game, and do good things. Now, I did predict that neither Gabriel or Saliba would be involved this weekend. However,
me too.
This is a game that they could easily integrate into with us thinking, well, you know what? It's not the worst game in the world. They're not facing Mane. They're not facing Aguero. They're not facing Sterling. So, you know what? If you are going to get blooded, this is a good game.
Yeah, true. African Gooner.
100% what Tony said. There's pros and cons to this. The con is obviously David Luiz. I'm sure we were going to start with a back three, and he definitely would have been playing in that back three with either one of the two, and maybe Holding. I think that's what we were going to start with. Now, because he's out, I'm more excited, to be honest, because now we're forced to play these guys, and there's no excuse. I mean, I'm sad for the guy and stuff, but I'm happy because now we have no choice but to play these guys, and I want them in from the start. I need to see it from the start because that's gonna give the fan base confidence. That's not lie, regardless of if it's Fulham. I don't care who it is. The first game they play, if they dominate, I mean, we saw how Gabriel wasn't training. Oh, that guy, man, he's good. He was just pushing players off of him like it was nothing. His defending is on another level, Whereas, MUSTAFI come in and slide into a player, he holds the position and he waits and he has the pace. So when the player tries to beat him, he puts his body across and he just, shepherds the ball out of play. And we've been missing that. So I'm really excited to see them play this weekend. And as Tony said, they're not playing any of the top strikers.
Yeah. Liverpool's going to be coming up soon, but yeah, we're playing that at the moment. Ebony, what's your thoughts on Luiz?
Well, okay, Luiz, I mean, for me, he's random anyway. I mean, yes, he's good for leadership purposes, but he's too random for me. So it'll be quite interesting to see Gabriel. What would be nice is to see Gabriel and Saliba start with Rob Holding, because Rob Holding is that the experienced one at the back with regards to being in the Premiership. So because Luiz is out, if both of them don't start with Rob Holding, then it will be, I don't know, it could be Saliba or Gabriel and Holding with, I don't know, MUSTAFI or
there's no one else.
There's nobody else. It's going to be.
How about Chambers?
No, Chambers is 6 weeks away. MUSTAFI's 4 weeks away.
Then it's going to have to be. It's going to have to be a back three. It's going to have to be a back three of Rob Holding in the middle, and Saliba and Gabriel either side of him. And let's see how it goes. But for me, I'm not going to start gassing. I'm not going to start gassing until I actually see the action.
Yeah, as
Tierney in the back three, don't forget.
Yeah, you can put him there. And if you put Tierney in the back three, that means that Maitland-Niles can play as a wing back in front of him. So listen, guys, they're so juicy. This team can be so juicy. And there's even
2 players changes everything. Like 2 decent players changes our feeling on the defense completely. It's like a whole new team, man. I'm excited.
Sinful says we're not losing a game this season. We're too strong. Hey, we're going to come on to that in a minute, brother, when we do the previews. So, guys, actually, we're doing them now. But before we do them now, I just want to go to our list. Remember this list, guys? This was the list that we did a month ago, and we were saying who we want to sell and who we want to and who stays. So let's just do an update on this list, just for our own sanity. So Mustafi, he's injured for 4 weeks. Guendouzi looks like he's coming back into the team. Lacazette, there's no contract offer from Arsenal extension there, and that's what the player's waiting for. We really don't know what's going to happen with him. We don't even know whether he's going to start against Fulham, but I would like him to. I would like him to see what he can do. I want nothing better for this guy to get back into the form he was two years ago, but I just don't think he fits the system well. I really don't. I don't think he's a player that defensively will work as hard as Nketiah would, and that is a loss for us, not a gain. Rob Holding, in my opinion, I think I've been waiting for Rob Holding to get a run of games to show the form he showed when we won a 22-game unbeaten streak when he was our best centre-back. And this is the moment now that he has to put a run of 5 to 10 games together and this is what he needed. Remember when he was man of the match against Southampton a couple of months ago and he didn't play for the next 3 games? I was like, whoa, what's going on? We get some form from this guy. He's a stud. Yeah. The man just beat up Danny Ings, and then we just put him back on the bench. So I'm glad he's going to get a run. Sokratis is a goner. Yeah, I'm not even worried about Sokratis. Torreira's a goner. Klasnach, I'd like to say he's a goner, but we're not seeing much from him. And Maitland-Niles is staying. Tony, first of all, where's your head on this list?
As I said, just repeating myself. Whatever we do, we just have to get Thomas Partey in our team as soon as possible. All of them can go. I don't care. All of them.
Even Maitland-Niles.
Including Maitland-Niles. But let me just say, you've got to get the right money. Mm-hmm. His value is now up another 10 million. So we're not talking 20 million anymore. We're talking 30 million. But the thing is, can go. The price is right. I don't care. We have depth of players that can take any one of those guys' positions.
The thing is, Ebony, what you have to understand from where Tony's coming from is it's a very different sport to American football and basketball, where the players' free agency works really different. The players are not bound or tied in that way, yeah? And even if they're not happy, trades go along. I mean, we don't do much trades. In fact, we don't do any trades. But in American sports, it's pretty much how you do your business. The problem here is Arteta, remember, I've said this a few times, Arteta is managing a team that's failed. Lundberg failed, Emery failed, Wenger. If you're going to change the philosophy, you have to change heads. You've got to bring in the players you want to bring in. So think of it when we're playing Barclays fantasy football and you start from nothing, you got all this money, and you just go boom, boom, boom. You're my goalkeeper, you're my left back, you're my center. That's what Arteta needs to do. I know it sounds cruel, but in a nutshell, that's where Tony's coming from. Tony's coming from a place where, look, Arteta, in order for him to have the team that he wants, he's going to have to completely rebuild. And in doing that, you're going to have to say goodbye to a lot of players who have let the team down.
Yeah. I mean, if you ask me, I mean, out of the list, I said Mustafi needs to go anyway because he's not good enough. Guendouzi, I'm glad he's staying. Lacazette, if he's not pulling his weight and he's not, there's no return on him, then he'll have to go. Holding, I'm glad that there's been some kind of U-turn with regards to him going on loan to Newcastle. Sokratis was never that good anyway. Torreira, he was good for a time, but then he was injured. But then he didn't come back as the same player. That happens. Remember Edu. Kolasinic, not good enough. He can't even run a bath. And Maitland-Niles, you know, that right side is his.
Excellent. So, guys, we've got one question here from, I don't think that African Gooners had a say on those players yet, but Joseph is saying, Guendouzi or Ozil in the squad? Yeah, they're both going to be in the squad. Actually, it's going to be released tomorrow. Tomorrow is when the teams have to submit their 25-man roster for UEFA. So they're definitely going to be involved, I would think. I can't see neither of them going at this point in time. And also, thanks for your contribution, bro. First contribution to the channel today, much appreciated. Says, what would you do with Guendouzi and Ozil, Ebony and the African Gooner? That's a question to you two.
Ebony, you can go first.
Okay, Guendouzi, like I said, you know, I've said so many times, I will keep him anyway, because he is that creative player, and he is one of the best young stars that we have. And if he was to be sold, then, you know, he'd go off and be a better player elsewhere, and we'd be gutted by that. As far as Ozil's concerned, you know, for me, you know, he is a bit part player. He's one of these players that relies on other people. He doesn't create much. Yes, he does spray those passes from time to time, but but off the ball, he's not very good. I'd let him go at any cost. You know, if it means him going to China or Turkey, whatever, he needs to go.
Joseph, thank you so much for the donation. As Apollo says all the time, it's much appreciated. So from my point of view, Joseph, I just don't have the confidence that Arsenal are going to actually sign the midfielders we need. And the only reason I say this is because, you know, my dad always tells me history repeats itself all the time. And we know, we watch Arsenal for our whole lives, and it's never happened. We know that we never actually get the business that we need done. It's very, very seldom. So for me, I've reduced my expectations. I do not think we're going to get both Partey and Aouar. That's my personal opinion. So for me, Guendouzi and Ozil stay, and they are going to be used in the team. They have to be used in the team. And, you know, even if they're not giving 100%, you know, we're going to need players in the Europa League. We're going to need even players in the Premier League, because if Xhaka or Willock or any of those guys get injured, Ceballos gets injured, we have nothing. We're skim in midfield. We have no backup players. So Guendouzi and Ozil, you know, they have some clout. Let's be real. Even though they're not playing at the highest of levels right now, they can come on the field and be a game changer somewhat. So for me, they definitely going to be integrated in the team, because I don't think we're going to actually go and buy two midfielders.
Excellent. And of course, I mean, the most important thing with that, guys, remember at the beginning of last season, in our first 8 games, we were 3rd in the league. And in the first 8 games, Guendouzi had 4 man of the matches. In half of those games, he was outstanding. And look, we all know Emery's team just capitulated, but he was one of our best players. Him and Maitland-Niles, absolutely solid, rock solid.
I mean, the only thing I would say about Guendouzi is that he spends too much time holding the ball rather than just like getting rid of it. Maybe that's
a training. That's a training thing. Yeah,
and that's also because there's no one around him. There aren't any real good players around him. Let's be honest. Who is he going to really pass to take the ball forward? He feels like kind of like Alexis Sanchez. He's going to try and do it on his own because he has the passion and the mentality. He loves Arsenal. Let's be real. He wants Arsenal to do well. He's not one of those players that are just playing for the sake of playing. He loves the sport and he loves Arsenal. So a lot of the times I feel like he holds the ball a lot because he doesn't know. People are not moving around him to actually, you know, make space for him to do something with it. So what he does is he holds, and he's still young, and then he loses it under pressure, and then the rest we know how it goes.
Right, so we have a question here from Sydney. So what's this? So F-hand in our 25 squad, what happens when we sign new players? How do they get added to the list? They get added to the list because that 25 player rule includes homegrown players. So at the moment, Arsenal have 8 homegrown players on their list, which means that you actually have about 17 players that are not homegrown. And the ruling is that it's 25 players non-homegrown. So you can have as many homegrown players as you like. But at the end of the day, you can still bring in certain players who are not homegrown and they can add to the list. And that's the reason why they've put it in there, so that teams don't get flooded with European players. and we don't give the kids and the academy players a chance. So that's how it works. Andrew, much appreciated for your donation, bro. Another $4.99 in the kitty. Much appreciated, guys. Keep it coming. Channel donations really helps us out a lot. You guys wouldn't believe how much it would help us, because the streaming does cost quite a bit, and we're streaming to Facebook this weekend on Saturday with the Fulham game when we do a watch along. We'll be just going nuts, yeah, and it's going to be like that all season. So I really do appreciate all of the donations from you guys. Much appreciated.
Can I quickly look at this list?
Yeah.
Cool. So, as Tony said, I would sell all apart from Maitland-Niles. I told you guys this before. I changed my view on Maitland-Niles since Arteta came. Before, I would have sold him any day. I didn't think he had what it takes. Now, I think he's the real deal. And I think that if we have any injuries, Tony, this guy can play anywhere. And we need that type of player. So that's the only reason. And I think that if we sell him now, he's going to be worth more, like in the next 2-3 years. So I'd rather hold on to him now and get more money when we can. So yeah, so in terms of the list, I need to see it again, Apollo, just quickly. So I'll start off with Sokratis, because I remember that was, so MUSTAFI sell 100%. We're not going to sell him. He's injured. We know he's not going to get sold off the books. And I really doubt that in January, we're actually going to sell him. The way I see it is he's going to end up going for free. Like a lot of players are ending up going for free. Guendouzi, I would keep. Let's be real. Not a lot of teams want to buy him. I mean, Juninho just came out and said they're not really interested in him. It's not that he's good. It's just that he's not the type of player they're looking for. So I think that's the case with a lot of people. In terms of Lacazette, Apollo, I agree with you. And Nketiah is the better hard worker, but Lacazette is the better finisher for me. Until I see Nketiah scoring those type of goals that he's scoring for England in the Arsenal team, then for me, I'm still 50-50. I'm not fully onto one player right now. I think both can contribute to the team, and I think no one is gonna go and pay 50 million for Lacazette. And if you're not giving me 40-50 million for Lacazette, I think we keep him and we use him. For me, now, I know, but we spent 40 million on him. Let's be real. If we're a big club,
it's a pandemic, man. Teams ain't got no money.
Yeah.
So if we don't have the money, then we should keep him, because he's gonna be integral to our team. Even if he's not scoring, he brings stuff to our team, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Listen, I understand what you're saying, and we do need players, but I just think your valuation of Lacazette is so overinflated. I mean, not only did he only score 10 goals last year in the Prem, I think the season before it was like 14.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about a player who's last 3 years at Arsenal, he hasn't hit 20 goals.
Yeah.
So he hasn't got a pedigree where you can go, you know what? He's a season away from another big season. He's never had a big season.
His first
season.
True. So a couple of things on that I just want to touch on. I think we're being a bit unfair on him. Ebony is right. He was injured, right? In this interview where Juninho is talking about it, he says he spoke to Lacazette in January, and Lacazette said, I'm not playing well at Arsenal because I'm injured and I'm still recovering from my injury. So we need to be fair, like I'm not making excuses for him. He still should have been scoring more goals than he did. But I mean, if he's injured and he had a big injury, it's like Apollo always says about Holding. Give him time. He had a crazy injury. It's the same thing with Lacazette. So, we have to be fair, right? And the second point is, you're right, 100% he's not going to get better. But let's not forget that we have two amazing strikers. We have Lacazette and Aubameyang. And a lot of times, I feel like Lacazette doesn't score the goals he does because he creates space for Aubameyang to score. So Aubameyang takes a lot of the goals that Lacazette is going to score in the first place for me. So again, I'm not defending him. I'm just pulling out things and thoughts that I have in my head. I feel like as a big club, we cannot afford to sell players that we, when we spend 40-50 million on a player, we cannot be selling them for 30 million. And so, we already know we're losing money. So that's my problem.
We're going to lose money on that guy regardless. African Gooner. Whether we keep him or whether we sell him straight away, we're going to lose money. We aren't going to make a profit. We're not going to break even. We're going to lose money. Whether it's 10 million, whether it's 15 million, whether it's 20 million, we're going to lose money. So my point of view is maximize that earning. And you know what? I think, listen, I don't know if what you've heard in the background, Apollo, but I know Follow Balogun started a game 2 days ago against Ipswich.
He scored.
So you kind of look and think, well, there's a kid there, although he's iffy about staying, he's scoring goals aplenty. So he's putting the pressure on Nketiah. Because I think part of the reason he knows is he can't get in the team is because he knows Nketiah is in front of him. Now, if you take Lacazette out of the picture, Nketiah becomes a starter. Balogun suddenly thinks, hang on a second, I've got a good shot here.
Fair enough. Now that you bring it up, I agree. I'd sell him if we get 30 million. I'd sell him.
I've just got to answer a question. So, Carlito, so let me explain how the rules work. So the rules work that each team has to have 17 non-homegrown players. So those 17 players have to be foreign internationals, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Xhaka, etc. And a minimum of 8 players have to be homegrown. So that rule is so that a team has to develop youth talent no matter what. You cannot have a team with more than 17 players that are not homegrown. And homegrown, as you know, is players who've been in your system for 3 years. So when you look at it that way, Arsenal at the moment have about 14 players. If we think about the end of last season. So we're actually 3 in lieu, if that makes sense. So we can actually go out there and buy 3 players and still not have to worry about being over the limit, yeah? Teams like Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, they're at the limit. Man United, they're at the limit. They would have to sell non-homegrown players in order to buy new ones. That's the reason why we're seeing Chelsea going mad, saying they got to get rid of 8 players or 10 players or whatever it is. Arsenal are in a really good position. Tony's thinking about it like the salary cap. You know, it's really a good position we're in, because at 14, that means we can buy 3 players right now that can count against that 17, that doesn't complicate our issue. So it's a good system. And that is due to the fact that we've got so much homegrown talent. You only have to look at the squads and the bench to see how much youth players are being a part of this team. Unfortunately, other teams are not like that. Yeah. Go on. I think African Gooner's finishing off on this list.
Yeah. So I mean, Tony, you really opened my mind to that. And just closing on Lacazette, you know, we sold Mkhitaryan for free. We lost a lot of money because for me, Mkhitaryan was Alexis Sanchez money. Whatever money Alexis Sanchez was going to bring us, that became Mkhitaryan, and we let him go for free. So we basically let go Alexis Sanchez for free, man. And then Torreira, we're looking at taking a loss of 2-3 million. And then Sokratis, we canceled his contract and he's going for free, you know, and even 3-4 million. So, you know, so many losses. It's hard for me to take another loss on Lacazette, but I definitely see where you're coming from. In terms of holding, as they said, I would loan him out, but obviously that's not happening anymore with the injury. So I'd say keep him for sure. Kolasinac, sell the guy, man. Sell this guy. No one can afford him. Arsenal asking for like 15 million from Schalke. We're trying to pull their pants down. Man. We're trying to pull these guys' pants down. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. And I think there was one more player. I
think it's Sokratis. African Gooner sent us a message on our podcast chat, and he's just like, "This guy's going for free. I can't believe we've lost money."
Because we're talking about not having enough money to buy Partey. All this 2-3 million, it's gonna help, man. And we do this all the time. So when you accumulate 10 players that we've done this with in the last 5 years, that's your 20-30 million to go and buy the guy.
Yeah, I think in terms of Sokratis, letting him go 90 grand a week. Over 52 weeks is about 4.7 million a year or something like that. That's how they're looking at it. They're not looking at it as in, oh, you know, we're going to get pittance.
But it should be transfer fee plus the wages. That's big club mentality, man. Why don't we have that?
I think it's a bit more than that, African Gooner. I think because of financial fair play, you have to spend what you bring in. And if you're giving away players for nothing, you're not really doing yourself any favors, are you?
Losing money.
You're not.
You also have to bear in mind that some players' salaries account for multiple millions in terms of revenue. So straight away, a player on 100 grand frees up near to 10 million pounds. We've got them players, you know. Mkhitaryan, although we gave him away, we made 10 million. We immediately released 10 million.
Yeah, that's it. And that's what I'm saying. Look, even when the end of next season comes, which is going to be close, by the way, and Mesut Ozil goes, that's 18.5 million off your books, you know.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
You can buy 2 quality players and pay 200 grand a week, which is what Partey wants, and the other 150 grand a week. You can do just for the sake of one player. One player. And boy, anyway, look,
I'd love for that to be Özil.
Yeah, they really
not happening, guys. Not happening. He's not leaving.
They're structuring our wage bill really, really well. I mean, look, we're not even talking about William Saliba. Saliba's only on 40 grand a week. But if you look at
rise with time.
It will, but if we look at the other contract, which is Gabriel, I actually mentioned this in my video. Gabriel's on 60 grand a week. He was making less than 15,000 euros. He's on 60 grand a week, but it's a 5-year deal, so it's very, very long, and the contract scales incrementally up to 90 grand a week. So the reason why, remember, he could have made more money if he went Napoli, but where they changed his contract, and you have to give credit to Huss Vami here, who's the chief negotiator at Arsenal. He scaled he's the only player on the team that has a scaling contract. So he makes 60 grand now. By the 4th year, he's up to 90 grand a week. So I like that because a player doesn't feel devalued when he's doing well. Does that make sense?
And also they can't demand. So even if Gabriel does really well, it's in his contract now. So even if he becomes that superstar player, he can't go and say, "Oh, I want 100K." It says in your contract 90K in 4 years, bro. So that's also smart business from Arsenal, and that's what we need to be doing, right? I mean, it's sad that it's taken us this long to get there. And just in regards to, I want to address Carlito's point on the law of depreciation. Man, of course I understand the law of depreciation, but why is it always that Arsenal sign players that depreciate? That's the problem. I understand depreciation, but why is it always Arsenal buying players and then ending up selling them for lower, right? I mean, we're not buying the right players.
I made this point to you guys on Sunday.
Failure.
Bayern Munich buy players who depreciate. Let's be honest. They buy a player, his value goes up, they keep him, they play him, and then when his time's done, his value is no longer what it was. They haven't bought a player. They have brilliant players, let's be honest. And they buy them all cheap. Lewandowski is the best bit of business ever, a freebie. Yeah? His value now in the world of football is probably up at 300 million. But they're not going to let go of him at 300 million. They'll let go of him when he's finished, when he's dead. You know, look at Thomas Muller is like 65 years old. And they're still getting blood out of that guy. And trust me, when they sell Thomas Muller, they'll get 10 million. But at one point in time, that was a £100 million striker. And they'll do that with their players. They'll play them and play them and play them. And when they finally say, yeah, you're done, remember, who was the French guy with the scar?
Frank
Ribéry. Ribéry was a £200 million player at one time. When they said, Ribéry, your time is done, his time was done. He was worth nothing.
Fair enough, but the issue there, Tony, is all these players that buy and sell are actually freaking good players, that they actually get real output out of them till the end, that they're willing to keep these guys. Robin, I mean, you just named like 6 players, man. So why can't Arsenal do that? I don't care if it's devalued. If you give me the output, I don't care. But you're not giving me the output and I'm taking the loss on you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. And that's where Arsenal are failing. We're getting the players in, but we're not getting the output.
That's for real, guys.
And this is why I'm not guessing until I see our new buys actually do good, and that's what's that? Papa's okay.
We're not interested in them as far as I've been told. I think I was given a list about 6 days ago, last week, and he wasn't even on it, mate. So they haven't even called to make a query on him.
But just on Ebony's point, you're right. You shouldn't really judge players based on until they play. But a lot of times, really good players, it doesn't matter where you're playing. If you're a talented player, if you're a top class player, you're gonna perform.
We've got to remember the Premier League is different from from La Liga,
If Messi came to the Premier League, are you going to say, I'm not going to judge him until he plays? No, he's going to go and score the goal.
But the difference is that, Messi has played against Premiership teams in the Champions League and he's torn people up. So we've seen Messi. We've
So
seen
Ebony,
Messi over the years.
players play in the Champions League. Yeah, they play against the top players in the world. So that for me is irrelevant. If you're a top player, you're playing against the top players and top teams in the world. So you shouldn't have really much of an issue.
Some players can hit the ground running. Some can't.
For sure.
That's my point.
Tony, that's one for you, mate.
Yeah, no, I'm reading that and I understand that, but I actually think our squad is built more expensively than Bayern squad. They don't buy players at 72 million. They've got one player in the history of Bayern Munich who's 70 million. And everybody else is sub 30, sub 20, sub 35.
And you know why that is, Tony? That's because they've built a reputation. They don't get bullied in the market like Arsenal do. Like clubs know that, you know, you can't ask 50 million or whatever for these players. Bayern and that's the problem with Arsenal. Top teams demand. You know, when Apollo was saying, "Oh, Atletico is so good and they're so nice to let Arsenal negotiate." No, top teams have a contract. The contract says pay this money or you cannot have him, and that's what Arsenal don't have. Arsenal negotiate because they know we can't get better. We don't have money. Oh, we're gonna take the 20 million. We're not gonna get it from somewhere else. We're not gonna get more, and that's a bad mentality that we need to get out of this club.
I hear you. And the thing is, the culture is changing. But as I said to you guys, these guys only came here, Edu, Arteta, at the turn of the year. So we're here saying, rah, 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 we want change. We want things to, and they ain't even been there a year yet. So we just have to be patient. Yeah, we just have to be patient. Carlito, big respect to you, man. Thank you very much for $9.99. I really appreciate that, bro. And listen, we love you guys too, man. Each and every one of you that leaves a message in there, we look at all of your messages, and if they need to be answered, we will answer them because you're a part of the show. This is here for you guys. And we got 50 people watching now. Hit that like button, everybody, and I appreciate all your donations. As I said, it just makes the channel stronger and stronger and stronger, and we're here because of you guys. Yeah. Guys, let's get into it now. This is the season prediction that we're going to go through. Now, let me just see if I can bring something up for this that will help us try to find out which way we're going to go on the predictions. Yes, we do have something here, so let's have a look at it. Let's have a look and see if we can bring this up. Share, there we go. Right, good. Right, all big, nice. Let's get rid of this tag because we don't need it. Right, guys, we're going to take a look at this and try and predict the first 10 games. This is going to be fun. And we're just trying to get to a points total, guys, where that we can figure out where we're going to be. I can already tell you now that Neomis is given 18 points out of the first 10 games. And Tony's given 20, but he's here, actually. We haven't heard anything from Bertram or Tom or let's have a look. Yeah, we haven't heard anything from anybody yet. But guys, join in. I want to hear what your predictions is as well. And the first one, we're going to start off with Arsenal and Fulham. We did this prediction on Sunday, I believe. So all we got to do is just repeat what we said. I said it's going to be 3-0 to Arsenal. Tony?
I think I said similar, 3-0, 3-1.
Yeah. African Gooner, I think you said 3-1 as well or something, 100% I believe.
3-1.
Okay, let me just put this down here. And Ebony, what did you say?
I said 3-1 as well. I think we'd concede. We will concede. We will.
Excellent.
But we're going to win in that match. That's 3 points.
So, guys, I don't think Sydney was here. So Sydney is saying it's going to be 4-0. If there's any other points, look, and I had to say 18 points as well. Remember, guys, come November, we're going to look at this and see how close we were. And I remember when we did this at the end of last season, I said we were going to get 12 to 14 points in the last 10 games. And how much did we get? 14 points. So it was really, really close.
Should have taken a bet.
I know. JK's saying it's going to be 3-1 to Arsenal. Joseph has gone 5-1. Some nice scores down there. But guys, listen, guys in the chat as well, throw up your numbers about West Ham. What's going to be your West Ham prediction? Tony, who's just walked off to go and do something, so let me ask, let African Gooner. Yeah, let African Gooner. West Ham.
Has to be a win. 3-1. I mean, their danger man is really Felipe Anderson, and he's about to be sold. I don't really see any other real danger man apart from that Antonio guy, you know, on the wing. I mean, that guy, he's a good player. He's an underrated player. But yeah, no, I'm not threatened by them. It has to be at least 3-1.
Yeah,
Easy
I'm
point.
going for 3-0 again. There's 2 3-0 scores in our first two games. I'm going mad here. And what have we got from the guys? We've got Ian. Ian has gone for a 4-1 win over West Ham. JK's 2-0 win over West Ham. Joseph thinks we're going to win 2-1. Sydney has gone for a battering, man. Pepe hat-trick. Willian on the score sheet with a Bamian. He's gone for 5-0. Andrew's gone for us losing 2-1.
I don't think so.
In a home game against West Ham.
Hell no.
That's gonna throw the cat among the pigeons.
Ain't happening.
Leander's gone for a 2-0 win for West Ham. And Andrew's gone for winning. Okay. That's not a 2-1. That's a 2-1 win. That's a home game. And Andrew's gone for a win there. Kenyata's gone for a 3-2 win. The African Gooner.
Yeah, I said 3-1 against West Ham.
Okay. And Ebony, what did you say?
Okay, I just want to say something. So if Saliba and Gabriel start playing in the first game and they do really well, I'll change to a 3-0. Right now we haven't seen them play, so I just want to be reserved because I still feel like we might be a little bit shaky with Raka and El Neni in there. You know, I mean, I don't think we'll sign Party before West Ham, so let's see. But a win for sure.
Yeah, Andrew, as you can see here, Arsenal are the home team in that game. So that's a home game for Arsenal against West Ham. NS is going for a 2-0 win. Big up to you, my brother. Victor's gone for a 2-1 win. It's rumored Arteta will test a new formation. I think Arteta can't wait to get back to his 4 at the back. He wants to go 4-3-3. He knows that that's the future of this team, and that's the reason why he's trying to get in guys like Aura. He's trying to get that midfield sorted. If he fixes that midfield, everything else will fall into place. Ebony,
I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. I don't know if Declan Rice is still there, but he could be quite dangerous as well at times. But yeah, I think we'll be too strong for them. So it's going to be a win. That's another 3 points, so 6 points so far.
Excellent. So guys, this is where things start to get nasty. Arsenal away at Anfield to Liverpool. Oh boy.
Win.
You know what? Didn't we beat them 2-1 there in anyway? We beat them 2-1 there in the league and we didn't play well at all. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I'm going to go for Arsenal 1, Liverpool 1. Guys in the chat, put your numbers down. JK's gone for the same score as me. Andrew has gone for Arsenal. No, that's West Ham. Has gone for 4-1. For Liverpool, Andrew's gone for a 1-1. Tony, what are you going for the Liverpool game?
I think this is where we come a cropper. Yeah, I just think this game came a little bit too soon in our season. I would have loved to have seen maybe one more home game, one more a game against a lower team. So I know we did well against some big teams at the end of last season, but you know it's a new season now.
Yeah, well, we beat Liverpool. We beat them last week.
Listen, that was a terrible game. The Charity Shield was a good game, but we've got new players coming in.
What I liked is we stopped them from playing. We shut down Salah. Yeah. We shut them down. We shut down Mane. He had 2 chances though, but thanks to Martinez, he blocked both of them out.
I just think this is the game that we're gonna fall a cropper because I've got 20 points, which for me I calculated 2 losses and 2 draws in the first 10 games, and this is one of the 2 losses.
Okay, so Joseph has gone for 2-2.
Tony, 2 losses and 2 draws should get you 17 points because I also have 2 losses and 2 draws. So maybe I did my math wrong.
Close. Hatta's gone for a Liverpool 2 or 3-0 win to Liverpool. Ian's gone for a 2-1 win for Arsenal. Oh, Ian, man. Ian, if we do that, bro. Ian, if we do that, No, let me say something. Let me drop my pen and let me drop everything here. Ian, if we beat Fulham, West Ham, and Liverpool, then we are going to be title contenders, my friend. Yeah? We are going to be title contenders. And what did I say to you lot in my video yesterday? I said there's a difference between contending for top 4 and being contenders. And if we got Partey and Owen, that will be it for me. We should be looking to win a title. And we don't have to do it this season. Arteta's building it up. Remember, he said, yeah, within 3 years, I want to win the Champions League. I want to win the title. Yeah. Liverpool did it in 4 years. And in 3 years, sorry, they won the Champions League. In 4 years, they won the title. So that's why when some people are thinking, never, not in 5 years, it can be done. Jurgen Klopp did it. And he did it on a medium budget. So if Arteta is getting the players he wants, if these guys come in, it's on, baby. If we beat Liverpool 2-1, it's on. It's on. Yeah? Not for Kenyatta. Kenyatta's saying we lose 3-1. But Sydney's saying that we win 3-1. Enes is saying that's a 2-2 draw. Hillary is saying that we win. Oh, yeah, we win 4-1. 4 goals against Liverpool at Anfield. Oh, I would wet my pants. If that happened, I would listen. You'd have to put nappy on me because I would piss myself if that happens, man. Oh my God, I would literally wet myself if we went to Anfield and won 4-1. That would be it for me. Curtis is saying 2-2. Eddie scores down here. D is saying people in the chat got zero respect for the champs. Someone said 4-1 to the Arsenal. Well, you know what it is, D. We beat Liverpool in the last 2 games. We played them in the last, 6 weeks? So, and look, in the first time in the league when we beat them 2-1, we didn't even play well. But we played extremely well in the Charity Shield. Victor is going for 1-1. Klopp wouldn't allow it. Did you see Klopp's face at the end of the Charity Shield, bro? I don't think Klopp's got a choice because Klopp at that point knew. He looked over and looked at Arteta. And that's when he said, these guys have got themselves a proper manager. He's going to have to up his game because that's twice now that he hasn't beaten Arteta. And actually, Arteta is unbeaten against Jurgen Klopp. So that's a nice thing. No more scores. So we go to the African Gooner.
All right, let me bring you back to reality. Let me bring you back to reality. It's all fun and games, before the season, we're thinking we're going to win every game, blah, 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 blah. And then we see the team play and we're like, shit, I forgot that this is Arsenal. For me, we're going to win the first 2 games. 100% we're going to win the first 2 games. People are going to say El Nino, Xhaka, the best thing since sliced bread. And then we're going to go to Liverpool and we're going to lose 3-1. There's, you cannot compare the Community Shield game to what we're going to face against. Those guys are going to come hunting for us because we beat them twice and we embarrassed them. Let's not be real. We embarrassed them. We played a B team against their A team and we won. So those guys are going to come for blood. And you know what? It's not nice.
Hold on. What did you say? What did you just say there about B team and A team?
We played our B team and they played their A team and we beat them.
That's right. Yeah. But we shut them down. Me and Bertrand went through this with you guys before. We shut Liverpool down. So when you say that they're gonna come back hungry, you don't think Arteta's got a plan for that?
No, I do. The thing is, for me, I kind of want us to lose, and the only reason I say I want us to lose is because if we beat all these 3 teams, we're not gonna go and sign the players we need. We need to lose 3-1 to Liverpool so we can go and sign Partey. I strongly believe we're gonna win the first 2 games. We're gonna lose against Liverpool, and then we're gonna put pressure onto Arsenal to go and buy Partey. And that's the only way it's gonna get done. I promise you, man, it's happened time and time again. We go into a season, we win a couple of games, we think everything is good, then we lose, and we're like, oh yeah, we actually do need these players. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. Mark my words.
What normally happens is we enter a new season and we lose the first game, and then everything goes into meltdown. You remember the 8-2 loss at Man United?
The last 2 years, we won our first game, and and then it all went downhill. And we're like, oh, why didn't we sign these players? I promise you, we're not going to sign Thomas Partey till we lose against Liverpool. I'll put money on it.
Mad. JK saying you're on a mad thing.
Yes,
And
that's the only way Arsenal go and put the money on the table is when the fans put pressure and things are going wrong. Let's be real. When
And
are we
Curtis-
ever
I
proactive?
get what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying.
Curtis actually agrees with you. Curtis is saying African Gooner is saying the right thing. That's how we always play it out. Curtis, I can say to you the same thing that I said to African Gooner is those were under different leaderships, my friend. This Edu Arteta combination is the real deal. So
Real
let's see.
deal, Apollo, real deal. That's why we haven't gone and signed Party before the season. That's why we haven't sold any of the dead wood we still have. Come on, man.
It takes time, bro. It does take time, bro.
Oh, man, of course it takes time. Chelsea bought 8 players, man. What do you mean it takes time? Come on. Let's be real.
Bro, you got to stop looking at Chelsea, man. Actually, let me go to Ebony. Ebony, what's going to be the score Liverpool against Arsenal?
Okay, the optimist in me says we're going to win 2-1. If we do that, I will make love to someone because we can actually.
Jeez.
We can actually listen. Liverpool are beatable. Okay, we did it at the Emirates. All right, we didn't play well, but at the same time, I have optimism. I'm always optimistic. I was optimistic against Man City. I was optimistic against Liverpool. However, I can see this being a 1-1.
I knew that was coming, you bad boy. I knew that was coming. This guy, look at Bert. I'm looking at Bertrand. Bertrand ain't even smiling, you know. I think Bertrand's gonna fling this man some licks. Hey,
I had to come on because I'm listening to all this stuff thinking, where the white rum kick in? When did the white rum kick in?
You're kicking in right now, bro.
Why did everyone start drinking the white rum?
So
I had no idea.
1-1.
You've gone for 1-1. Yeah, that's what I've gone
1-1.
for. So I've gone for 3-0 Fulham, 3-0 West Ham, 1-1 Liverpool. Bertram, you're going to have to give us...
Can I just make a point on Andrew's point, yeah? I'm just going to give a small example, 5 seconds. Everton just signed Doucouré and James Rodriguez. So I'm not only talking about Chelsea, man. Just look around you.
Yeah, well, I mean, Rodriguez was, 24 million or something like that?
James Rodriguez, we could have signed both those players, man. Honestly, if we're not actually going to sign Partey, we could have bought those players.
We could have, but we decided to sign Gabriel for 27 million. So that's a good deal right there. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, of course, but I mean, we need a midfield. We need midfielders, and if we bought 2 players, we could have walked into our starting lineup.
Yeah. So, Bertram, you've got the conch because you've got to go through Fulham away, West Ham home, and then Liverpool away.
So I'll do this quickly just to catch up. I think we'll beat Fulham 3-1. I think we'll beat West Ham 2-0. I think we'll lose to Liverpool 2-1. I can't remember the last time we went to Anfield, and I'm just like shocked at his view of the Liverpool just went downhill after they won the league by how many points?
No. Hold on. I watched the game with you 2 months ago at Anfield when we beat them 2-1 and played the worst football I've ever seen.
Yeah, but see, here's the difference. Here's the difference, which is even though there's no crowd, they're still at Anfield. Secondly, it's a new season, guys. We have to give allowance for when you have won the league already, how motivated you are. Just like how Villa beat us in preseason. It's preseason. It doesn't matter. So end of the day, the Liverpool team we'll meet is a team that's fired up, want to repeat, Klopp won't allow them to be complacent. We're going to have a tougher game. Now, I want to address African Gooner because I'm not sure why he wants to buy a Bugatti with $10,000. It costs much more than $10,000. We don't have Chelsea. We don't have Chelsea money. We don't have 200 million plus.
We don't have the
in
money.
the
But I
bank.
just gave you an example of Everton, Bertram. I'm not saying to go buy 100 million players. I mean, Everton spent 50 million players and they plugged in 2 players in their starting.
Don't use Everton, for example, for anything. Mashura has been wasting his money for the last 2 years, spending $500 million and have nothing to show for it. Now, granted, they have a great manager who's come in. They made some smart investment. The pandemic has helped them because it cost them 60-something million for 3 very good midfielders. But they're not the benchmark to be utilized to make decisions about how to run your team. They are doing what we're doing. They now have good leadership. and they're making smarter decisions. It's not like before where they just bought people like Iwobi for £40 million. Like, where's the white rum kicking when the night where you made the call? You called Sanili and said, I want Iwobi for £40 million. Are you kidding me? And we're like, thank you so much.
Hillary's throwing shade at you. Look,
Yeah,
the man has no clue where the goal is. No clue where the goal is. Great at dribbling around in a circle, but no good clue where the goal is. £40 million.
Also, I stand corrected. Emery and said we beat Liverpool at the Emirates. I'm sorry, I stand corrected. But listen, because there's no fans in the stadium, I lose track of all this shit, man. I mean, I don't know. So listen, so we've got.
I have to address Hillary, right? I'm not an Arsenal fan, but that's why I spent 3 hours on this podcast talking about Arsenal. Because I'm not an Arsenal fan. Right?
Oh dear. All right, guys. So let's move on to Arsenal versus Sheffield United, which is actually going to be quite a tough game. I like Sheffield United. I look at them like like Wolves. You know, they're a team. Wolves have actually got, as we know, the best record against the top 6 over the last 2 years. But Sheffield's not that far behind them. When we beat them after lockdown, they went on their tear. They took down Tottenham. They took that. Listen, they went toe-to-toe with Man United. They just went on the tear after. And I was like, when we beat them, Arsenal fans were like, we should beat them. We should be beating teams like Sheffield. And then when you see the teams they were beating, I was like, these Arsenal privileged fans should actually absorb the fact that we beat a team this good. Because remember, Sheffield beat us. Yeah, when we played them at the Emirates, they turned us over. So I was quite happy to see us knock them out the FA Cup because I thought that was a really tough game. So against Sheffield United, we've already got some scores coming in. Sydney's saying we're going to beat them 2-1. Andrew's saying we're going to beat them 3-1. Ian's saying 3-1. Aubameyang and Lacazette. Don't forget Pepe and Willian. And JK saying finally a reasonable person. Sandy's saying we're going to win 3-0. Poan saying that we're going to win 2-1. Curtis is a 2-1 win. Guys, remember this is Sheffield United, man. They're really, really, really good team. Hatta saying 3-1 to Arsenal. Rashawn is saying we're going to win 2-0. Joseph is saying 1-0. Tough game. Big up that African Gooner for keeping it real. See, guys, sometimes we might get some bad things said about this, but there's always some supporters out there. Let me see. Vinesh has said we're going to win 4-2. Scoring 4 goals against Sheffield is going to be a real challenge, bro. 3 goals, 3 points against Sheffield. I'm actually going to go 1-1 again against Sheffield United. I'm going to put my score down. I'm going to actually go 1-1. Tony, you got the conch on this one.
Okay, Sheffield United, back at home. What have we got? It's a week after. Do you know when that mid-season, that midweek game against Leicester is? Hopefully It's not in between that game.
Oh, that's that October. October's a dreadful month. Hey, you want to see, guys, you want to see some points dropped? Let's just look at October. Oh, Lord.
All the time.
Oh, yeah.
Baptism of fire, man.
Hopefully, if we got a week, we got a week. I say we return with the fire and we beat Sheffield United at the Emirates 2-0.
Ooh, okay. 2-0. So I can see, I think you're going to end up with more than, what did you say yours was, 17?
No. 20 17. Points.
Oh, 20. All right, okay.
It's not.
Tony, count it. I wrote it down. I wrote it down. Do the math.
9, 10. How have you done that?
Don't do it in your head. I'm 24. You know, I can still do that math in my
head. African Gooner, where are you going with this?
10 points.
Like, as you said, we know Sheffield United has been a much better team in the last 2 seasons. I think it's going to be a tough game. 1-0. Pepe is going to break their clots. He's going to score because they're going to be playing low block, and we're going to have to, this is where that creativity we're talking about needs to be. We're going to need that, and I think Pepe is going to break that duck and score. So 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Wow, 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Okay, African Gooner, I have to do your maths is badly wrong. If I've got 2 games that we lose and 2 games that we draw, that means we win 6 games. 6 times 3 points is 18
18.
points.
Yeah, that's correct, African Gooner.
Yeah, 2 draws. Your maths is really bad, bro.
Okay, let me recount it.
Yeah, no, you just do what he did. It's 6 times 3, which is 18, and then 2 draws.
2 draws is
9
another
games.
2 points.
I have
9
games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 9 games on the screen. There's not 10 games.
Fixtures.
Oh, yeah, no, because that's
That's why.
Ah, there's Wolves.
Makes sense. So you're right.
So-
It's 20, 10 games.
Yeah.
So, African Gooner, where are we going to be against? I think have you guys already done your
1-0.
scores for Wednesday? Right,
1-0.
1-0. Okay. This is
Ebony.
Ebony, because I'm doing the ladder thing on this thing now. Ebony.
Right. Sheffield United, they're very good defensively, and they'll probably play a defensive game against us anyway. But I think we'll break them down 1-0.
Oh, okay. Bertram. Yeah, keeps it real, bro. Yeah, keeps it real.
2-1 to us beating Sheffield. Look, they lost Dean Anderson, who is a big loss for them. It's probably like 2 players when you play against them. I don't think they're as good as people think they are, frankly, even though they did really well last year. I think they'll come back to reality somewhat, and I think we'll beat them, and I think it won't be a difficult game. We'll win 2-1. It won't be that a difficult game. I just want I'm glad David LUIZ is hurt. It's going to sound really bad me saying that. I think we need to blend in some of the new players in the first game of the season. Okay, I don't want to wait until Liverpool to play Liverpool with new players or play Man City or Man U. I want them to come in early. And I'm hoping that we get Saliba and Gabriel on the field as early as possible. This waiting, I know people support Holding. He's a good player, but we need to get him on the field as quickly as possible. So, and we're gonna give up some goals in the early stage as they get acclimated, but eventually they'll settle in. I say 2-1 Arsenal.
So have you got a message for David, who's a big fan of yours, Bertram? He's saying, not only is he saying it, I think it's the third time he's saying we're not getting top 4.
So I do think we're not getting top 4 if we don't buy Partey. Because we do have some, even though I think Xhaka is not a donkey, but he's not a stallion either. So he's a hybrid. I do think we need that dynamic midfielder to enable us to defend and also move the ball forward. And he doesn't really, even though he was very good against Germany, by the way, and you guys should watch that game against Germany. He was very, very good, which I think part of it is Arsenal fans probably have great expectation that they should, and part of it is him. It's a combination there. It's not just Xhaka, because you watch a very good German team, he played against them. He held his own. But we do need Partey in the middle. If William plays like up to his capability, so does Pepe. Now he's had a year in his belt. Lacazette returned to the old Lacazette that scored about 20 goals, whatever the number was that he scored in Player of the Year. If we get those players to perform at their maximum, and the new kids blend in really well because they're kids, then we will make top 4. Otherwise, it will be a challenge because I think Tottenham's going to be better because Marina know how to play defense, and Man U and Chelsea are better. So, but I do think we can make top 4 if we get Partey early, because what you don't want is to get him out here play Man City of lost 2 games, which tell you what I think about the Man City and Liverpool game.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say that this is the one thing that I didn't want to move on to, because you guys, I'm getting my first loss here. So I think we're going to lose. I think we're going to lose 2-1 to Man City. So I'm put that down as a loss. Let me just change my sheet here. So Man City, the 5th game, I think we're going to lose 2-1. Let me get to, oh yes, 18's just sent me £20. You sent it to my PayPal, didn't you, bro? All right, yeah, I got it. Thank you very much for that. Big shout out to that £20 donation from you, and that's £40 so far today, guys. Thank you for all the donations, much appreciated, guys, much appreciated as always. Tony, you got the conch on Manchester City.
Okay, Manchester City. I'm going with a 1-1 draw. In fact, no, I'm going with a 2-2 draw. There's goals in this game. They've got. Listen, let's not ever write off the quality of players that exist at Manchester City. They'll get goals from all over the place.
Yeah, they didn't get much goals when we beat them and knocked them out of the FA Cup.
They're going to be a wounded tiger. They're going to be really looking to get some revenge on us. But I just think Arteta has got something on Pep now, and I hope that continues. But I'm not going to go in and say, yeah, we're going to wipe the floor with them again, because we kind of done that one time already, very recently. But yeah, I think this could be a high-scoring game, so I'm going to go with 2-2. I think the other loss is going to come somewhere strange, like the next game.
Yeah, I think I think Arsenal's going to surprise a few of you guys, because when I look at the results they got on the back end of last year, they were playing within the system, and they were still playing in terms of they were trying to figure it all out. And I think that they're getting to the point where they are figuring it out, or they've figured it out, because could you imagine the confidence in that team now, having beaten these giants over the last 2 months, won a couple of trophies? They must be on a high now. So you go out there, you've got that swagger, which you didn't have before. But most importantly, I've said this plenty of times, Guardiola's had his team for 5 years. Pep's had his team for 5 years. The only ones I'm not really worried about really is Lampard and Solskjaer. They've been there a year or so. And I think these guys, the longer they stay with Arteta, the better and more rounded the team is going to become. And I think we're going to see that moving into this season. You're going to get some ups and downs. Every team does. You know, you're going to get the Villa results. You're going to get the Brighton results. But what you're going to see is just a more rounded team that is not really reacting. They're going to be proactive. Yeah, they all know what roles that they got to play, and we've seen in the Liverpool game where the way they shut Liverpool down in the Charity Shield, and the way they frustrated Klopp, frustrated Salah, frustrated Mane, frustrated Firmino. I think that we're going to see. I think we're going to see this team grow, and they're going to get better and better and better as the season goes on. The African Gooner, where are we with Man City?
A couple of things. The first thing on the point that you just mentioned, the one thing I want to see this season is like the same, a solid starting 11. We mix and match too much in the last 3-4 years, even under Emery, playing players in the wrong positions, and even under Arteta, and it's not really his fault so much, but I mean, even our defense has been changing quite a bit. So, I mean, I definitely agree with you. This season, if we have a solid starting 11 that is consistent, I think it'll help the team overall progress. Another point I wanted to mention is, I'm an Arsenal fan, so I want Arsenal to win every single game in this list here. But I've over the years, I've become more realistic, and to be fair, I'm looking at the worst case scenario. So for me, I think Liverpool we will lose, and I think Man City will lose. I'm willing to be wrong. I don't care about being wrong. If Arsenal win, I don't really give a crap about being wrong or right. At the end of the day, if Arsenal wins, that's what makes me happy. But if I'm going to be real, I think it's going to be 2-1 to Man City or 3-2.
Okay, Cricket Ball has just said various media spots are announcing Arsenal set to sign 55. The release clause is what is it? The amount is 54.6 million euros, I believe it is.
And just a point on Cricket Ball, right? So we're supposedly doing this installment stuff. And listen, I'm hearing that the reason we're not putting the money on the table for Partey is because if we put the money on the table for Partey, then these guys are going to come and say, yo, what's going on here? You're paying us in installments, but you're paying that straight up cash. So apparently what Arsenal wants to do is pay this in installments and then go put the money on the table for Partey. If that happens, I'll see my pants.
Yeah, Cricket Ball, I'll have to check that out. I already got a message from Colin today to say that tomorrow morning we are, and I said that to you guys at the beginning of the show. I broke the news that we are going to go in for OA tomorrow morning with a new bid. So it doesn't surprise me that the media are picking up on this right now. What has it been? We started an hour and a half ago. So my sources work with the media as well. So it doesn't surprise me that they're now breaking the story. But again, I broke it first, so I'll take respect for that any day of the week. Ebony, where are we going with Man City?
I don't like to say that we're going to lose, but I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. I think we're going to go for. I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw.
You think no goals, Ebony?
0-0.
Yeah,
can
no
happen,
goals. Wow.
0-0.
Okay.
It can happen, yeah. It can
It
happen.
can happen. And I think I also think that, you know, Arteta has a bit over Pep now because Arteta was there. He knows the players. He knows what certain players can do. So therefore, there'll be a lot of cancelling each other out. So I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw.
Guys, hit that like button. There's 80 of you watching now. We had 1,000 people, by the way, watching our show last Wednesday. And it's crazy that the Wednesday show is starting to become more popular than the Sunday show, which is why I'm actually enjoying the fact that Tony was able to come in here today, because normally Tony doesn't do the Wednesday shows. But yeah, last week, Wednesday, we had 1,000 people viewing the show. So again, I want to thank you guys very much for your commitment to the channel and the way that you've supported the channel. It's been amazing. We've had, in the last month, we've had 1,300 new subscribers just in the last month alone. So I want to appreciate all of the commitment from you guys. Really do appreciate this, guys. I keep saying it because I want you guys to know how important you are to the channel, and thank you for your support. The scores on the doors: Ian is going with a 2-2 draw. Sydney's going with a 1-1 draw. Hillary's going 0-0, same as Ebony right there. Joseph is going for 1-1. Curtis is going, wow, is that 21-2 to Arsenal?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, listen, Bertram, you know that Appletons that you got missing? I think I know where it is. I think I know where the Appleton. Oh no, he's correct. No, he's corrected himself. He's corrected himself. He says it's 2-2. Vinesh is going 3-2. 3-2. Who's that to? That's to Man City, because that's a home game score. So Arsenal, he's saying that Man City wins 3-2. Remember, guys, to get your digits the right way around. It really does help me out. Any more scores on the doors here? We've got Victor going with 1-1. We've got Andrew going with 0-0. Let's have a look. We've got Wilson. Yeah, Wilson's going 3-0 to Arsenal at the Etihad. I won't wet myself with that one. I'll still do the Anfield thing. But you're still going to have to fling a nappy on me if we're racking them scores up on Man City. More coming in. We've got Yezel with City 1, Arsenal 2. Andrew is saying 2-1 to City. Hatta saying 0-0. Morgan is saying 2-1 to Arsenal. D's saying Curtis is on that powder thing. I shouldn't really be saying that on the channel. Daniel is saying 3-1 to Man City. Yeah, remember where the digits are. Home team's on the left, away team's on the right. So when you don't put the name of the team in, I have to make an educational guess there. And we've got 2. Oh, he said 2-2. Yeah, that's what I thought, mate. 3-1 to City from Madness. Boy, we're hurting here, guys. City's doing a number on us. Alfie is saying 3-1 to City, unfortunately. David again trying to hit home that we ain't finishing in the top 4.
Leave it, David. Leave it.
Sydney, didn't you say 1-1 up there a minute ago? I thought you said 1-1, and now you're saying 5-1 to Man City.
Nah,
Yes.
it's not going to be that much.
Who are we on now? We did Tony,
know.
didn't we?
Bertram.
Is it? Oh, it's Bertram.
Now,
Okay.
yeah.
Bertram, you
So
got
I think what people are missing is that we do have some stallions now. William is a stallion. Aubameyang is a stallion. Pepe is a stallion. So and then William will play in the middle. So we do have some stallions to compete with City. Before we couldn't compete at all. We were trying to reduce the score. So I'm going to say 3-2 to City.
Thank you.
I think they'll score a few goals on us because they're going to play that short field. We're going to get behind them, but they'll score more than we do.
I tell you what,
Bertram, look at this score. Bertram, look at this score.
I think he's when we played Man U years ago, we lost 8-2 at Old Trafford. When Wenger said we had a great team and we don't need any players, and then we go. But we bought Arteta we bought Arteta right afterward, by the way.
And Mertesacker.
So there wasn't a 4-man people that we bought, including Mertesacker. So
Santos, we bought Santos. We
don't give up 8 goals anymore. We play too compact to give up 8 goals.
We bought Yossi Benayoun. We bought.
Yes,
we went on the tear because we.
And we bought somebody from an Asian player. Was he Korean? That never played for us?
Park.
Park. Well, he was in the park someplace. He never came. He never left the park.
But there's this guy.
I saw him play in the reserve several times with many Chinese fans coming to see him. He had a cult following at Boreham Wood. He's at Barnet them times.
So it was a commercial endeavor. It wasn't really to play for us.
Yeah. But I want to jump on the back of what you just said, Bertram, because you know we're saying about these results. We might have a different lookout if we get Party in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a whole different assessment as to how the game result will be.
Vinesh is saying, what if Pep comes with new tactics for this season? There's a chance of him hitting us big. I don't think so, because I think Arteta knows that system so well. And I said this before they beat Man City. What did I say to you lot? I said, Arteta knows what good looks like. He helped to build it. He can help to destroy it. And Pep was pretty much, you saw Pep, look, you saw Klopp's face when we beat them. You saw Pep's face when we beat them. They're scared of this guy. Arteta has got underneath their skin. There's no two ways about it. And as I said before, look, you've got average team with a great manager. Man United and Chelsea, who we're supposed to be battling for the top 4, they've got very good teams, but average managers. We've got a great manager. And all you need is some great players, some stallions to surround this guy, and he's going to scare people. Yeah? And if I'm wrong, guys, and I hold my hand up. But that is
one point on that, Apollo. I think the difference between Emery and Arteta is that when Emery played a low block, we know that we would succumb to pressure and eventually we would concede. The difference is with Arteta, when we play a low block, you're actually confident that we're not going to concede. We're defending much, much better. And now we do have the 2 stallions in the back. So yeah, no, even if he brings a different tactics, I still have faith in Arteta to be able to deal with it, and the players, to be honest.
The difference is that the players understand Arteta. They didn't understand Emery.
Yeah. So, guys, they understood him when we went 22 games unbeaten, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Next game.
They were just playing. They were listening to him. They were playing.
Next game is Arsenal at Leicester. Wow. Okay. Arsenal at Leicester. Man. I'm going to go for another draw. I'm going to go 2-2 on this one, guys. Another draw. That's 3 draws in 6 games there. That's where I'm dropping all of my points. Tony, you got the conch. Guys in the chat, Arsenal at home to Leicester. Let me hear your views and predictions on that. Tony, you got the conch.
Okay, so for some reason, I've picked this game as a loss.
Wow.
My prediction is 2 losses and 2 draws. And so far, I've got our loss to Liverpool and our draw to Man City. This is our second loss for me. It's a 1-0. Leicester they're just a nightmare for us to play at the moment. They have been. And I just feel like, you know, if I'm going to pick a game that we're going to lose, this is the one. It's always some game comes up where you're like, why should we have lost that one? And this could be the game.
Which is strange because we've got a solid record against these guys. They haven't beaten us at the Emirates. When they won the league, we did a double over them, thanks to Walcott and Sanchez, who just terrorized them in that season. When last season, we played them off the park before that red card. Who was it that got sent off? Was it Nketiah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nketiah. We dominated them. We dominated them for 70 minutes. And I have no idea how we didn't win that game. And then we were on the back foot. They've not even come close to beating us. And that's why I had to go for a 2-2 draw. For some reason, Vardy is like Kane against Arsenal. Man always scores goals. But unlike Kane, they're not penalties. Well, some of them are actually with Vardy, but a couple of them were. But the African Gooner, where are you seeing this one going?
Yeah, so Tony and I both had 2 draws and 2 losses, but they're quite different. My 2 losses were against Liverpool and Man City, and my first draw is against Leicester. I think it's going to be 1-1, and I think Vardy's going to, I don't want to swear, but is gonna score in the last few minutes in the game to nick a draw. I know it. I know it. That guy, I hate that guy. He's like Drogba. He's one of those players like Ings, Drogba. Like these guys always, Harry Kane even. They always score against us, man. Like no matter even if you double team them.
And what hurt me was the goal he scored against us. Me and Bertram.
It was offside.
Yeah, and me and Bertram had a big discussion about it because I said, Mustafi, as a defender, you got to know who's making a run behind you, and you got to hold your hands out on the behind and hold that. You know, just like in basketball, when you're trying to defend the paint on a rebound, you've got to stop that guy from running into space. And they just let him waltz in right at the back post. He was offside. It was even VAR, and they still allowed it. Anyway, you know, that's enough of me ranting about that. Ian has gone for a 2-1 Arsenal win. Sydney love the 5-1 business, you know. Sydney, you love the 5-1 business. He's gone for the same score. Joseph has gone for 2-0 Arsenal. Hatta's gone for 2-1 Arsenal. We've got Andrew's gone for 1-1. We've got 3-1 here. Leicester win. Wow, 3-1 win. No, Leicester on the down. No, we beat Leicester 3-1. JK's gone for 2-0 to Arsenal, on the verge of losing some big. Yep, I totally agree. Victor's gone for we lose 1-0. Vardy scores and they
Same as me.
Wow. 18's gone for 1-1. Andrews, last season it was 2-0 loss away. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember that. We were terrible then, wasn't we? That was when we were spiraling downwards. Madness has gone for 2-0 Arsenal. And we got a first time here. Katana's gone for 2-1 Arsenal. Thanks for Katana. Katana, please hit the like button on this video. And the rest of you, hit that like button. Does anybody know how many likes we have? I haven't even checked it yet. African Gooner, just did you have your go?
1-1.
I think
1-1.
Yeah, 1-1. Ebony, you got the conch.
Leicester. I think they will try and park the bus. I think we'll beat them 1-0. And Vardy will be kept quiet because Saliba and Gabriel will be there.
Right. So,
yeah,
guys,
I'm gonna go 1-0.
So, guys, we've got 70 people watching and only 34 likes. Now 35. So you guys are getting the message. Hit that like button, everybody. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it helps the channel out, and it makes this video a recommended video to all Arsenal fans around the world. Bertram, you got the conch.
So I have the game a draw, 1-1. I think Leicester have some challenges in their both full-back position. Chilwell's gone to Chelsea, and Ricardo had a bad knee injury last year. But Leicester doesn't park the bus. They don't know how to park the bus. It's not their playing style. They have good midfielders. They have They have good forward, Gray, Vardy. So I think they'll give us a good run for our money. But I do think if we get Partey, we're going to win. If we get Partey.
Bertram, did you hear what Ebony said?
Yeah, I heard what she said actually, and Andrew has volunteered to meet her. Has volunteered to meet her halfway.
He's gonna have to fight 18, man. He's gonna have to fight that brother there.
Lord have mercy. Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah, lining up, man, lining up. So Bertram, what
I say 1-1, 1-1 draw.
Excellent, guys. Guys, we've got 40 people that are hitting the like button, and there's 20 of you who are watching. Actually, there's 30 of you who are watching who hasn't hit the like button yet. Please hit the like button on the video. As I said, it's free and doesn't cost anything. So, guys, we are now moving on to what have we got?
United.
Oh, shit. All right, I'm going to go first, and you guys ain't going to like this. We never win there, and I think we're going to lose 2-1. Shit, man.
No, we're not. Nah.
Right, we're going to lose 2-1 to Man United at Old Trafford, and I'm sick of it. So that's the 7th game. This is where I'm dropping all the points. I think that month of October is absolutely brutal.
November's usually our crap month.
It is normally, but they've moved it forward a month. Jeez, it just doesn't stop, does it? Tony, guys in the chat as well. Manchester United at Old Trafford, a place where only Danny Welbeck has blessed us with a win in the FA Cup final 3 years ago. I hate the place. I don't like it. I would love nothing more than for Arteta to go in there and smash the living daylights out of them. Tony Cox, you got the conch.
Have faith, my sir. Have faith. I believe we are overdue. So, in amongst my 2 draws and my 2 losses in the first 10 games is not a defeat or a draw at Old Trafford. I believe we're going to do something there. This game boils down to this. Arteta versus Solskjaer.
If he's still there.
Faith. Have faith.
He's still there.
Arteta.
He'll be there, man. He'll be there.
Yeah, man. Listen, they're buying up players and they've got a good team. This is going to be difficult. They have got good players. But as I said, we lose to Leicester, but we come back all guns firing. When we lose, we normally come back all guns firing. And I believe Man United this year in October will be the recipient of an L at Old Trafford.
I hope so, Tony,
Don't forget, last season, they lost a lot of games. I think they lost like 10 games last season. Yeah? We're going to inflict one of them L's on them this season. I believe we will win. I'll take a 3-1.
Wow.
Because when we get that ball, listen, right now I'm looking and thinking, I've got my 2 losses out of the hat now. My 2 losses are done. We are clicking into gear.
Yeah, I've got my 2 losses out the way. I've got 2 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses. My God, the 2 wins were the first 2 games. So on my book, we've gone 5 games without a win. Come on, Apollo, get it together.
Not happening. So yeah, 3-1 win away at Old Trafford. Come on, the boys.
So we've got Ian who's saying he's agreed with you. 3-1 to Arsenal. Sydney has agreed with you. 3-1 to Arsenal. Andrew is saying it was 1-1 last season. I don't think that's his prediction, by the way. No, Andrew's prediction is 2-1 to Man United. Henry is saying Arsenal will lose to Liverpool, Man City, Leicester. Yeah, I haven't got losses on those games, bro. I've got draws and losses. I don't think they'll win. I don't think they'll lose all of those games. I just don't think they'll do it. It's a brutal month, but I think those teams are still scared to play Arsenal. That's just how I feel. I've talked to their fans, and their fans don't like the direction Arsenal's going in. And when fans are telling you to keep Wenger and keep Emery, yeah, and when fans are saying you should never have got Arteta in there, then you know that's a good thing. Hatta's gone 2-0 loss. Yeah, I don't see a win there either. Bree's gone for 3-0 Arsenal. Big time score. Have we got any scores on the doors here? We've got Curtis, 2-1 win for Curtis. Can't see any other scores here. African Gooner.
Yeah, for me, I think a lot of people are underestimating United. I think they're going to be a top 4 team or a contender for top 4 this season. Van de Beek is underrated. I mean, just think about it. Pogba, Van de Beek, and Fernandes in midfield. We can't lie. We dream to have a midfield like that, you know? So I think they're going to do pretty well. I mean, since Lingard ever moonwalked at the Emirates, I want revenge so badly. But I think this is going to be a second draw for me. I'm even going to go as far to say that Fernandes is going to score a penalty and Pepe is going to score and make it 1-1 and celebrate in front of the United fans with this famous celebration. So I'm going for 1-1.
Excellent. Have we got any more scores here? Yes, we have. They're still coming through. We've got, I think I did Curtis, which was a 2-1 win. And we've got Osman. Osman's gone 4-3 to Arsenal. That looks like a Pro Evo or a FIFA game there to me. And Vinesh has gone 3-3 as well. Ebony, you got the conch on this one?
I'm gonna go for an away win, 1-0. It'll be hard, but I'm optimistic.
Damn, girl, how many points are you going to end up with? About 25, 26?
I'm being optimistic all the way through.
Nice. I mean, I know Tony's optimistic, but he didn't even get past 20. So I can't wait to see your score at the end of it. Bertram trying to work on his score right there and seeing where he is on this list. Bertram, where do you see this game? Very interesting to see where your mind is, if it's the same as mine, or whether you see us actually going there and getting a win.
No, I don't see a win. They have too much firepower. I see a 2-2 draw. Their defense, unless they beef it up, is not great. But offensively, Martial, Greenwood, Rashford, Fernandez, Van Beek, Pogba, all goal scorers, by the way. Unlike our midfield doesn't score, all six can put the ball in the net. And Maguire is good on set pieces. So I do see them scoring goals, at least 2 on us. But I also see us getting at their defense, because I don't think their midfield or their defensive line are the greatest. So I say 2-2.
Yeah, I agree. I remember when I looked at their front three last season, and we did that statistic, didn't we? Where we looked at their front three actually outscored Liverpool's front three. When I showed you guys that stat, I could not believe it. I was like, wow, these guys next season are going to be dangerous. But if they don't fix that defense, you know the score. So, guys, that's the Manchester United game, and thank God that we're past that. October has gone, and we are now in November, and it is Arsenal versus Aston Villa, and I will be going for an Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 0 win. So I'm going for a 2-0 win there. Guys in the chat, throw up your numbers for Arsenal at home to Aston Villa in our 8th game. 2 more to go afterwards. Tony, are you around, mate? Nope, Tony's gone and had to go and do something. The African Gooner, what would your prediction be in that score?
So just quickly, Bertram, great minds think alike. So you and I have exactly the same prediction so far. And I'm pretty sure we will have, maybe the Wolves game, we might have a different opinion. But I think 4-0 Arsenal. I think Willian's scoring in this game too. You got to visualize this stuff, man. You got to visualize this stuff for it to come true. Now, Willian's going to score in this game. 4-0. Easy.
What did I go for? I went for 2-0. I've gone in that game, Pepe and Martinelli on the score sheet for me. Is Tony back? No, Tony's not back yet. Ebony.
Aston Villa. Not the greatest team. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win.
Okay. Aston Villa, yeah, I think that's what I went for. So that's a solid score. Victor's gone for 2-0. Sydney's gone for 4-1. Sydney normally goes for 5-1. He's gone for 4-1 there. Andrew's gone for 4-0. Hatter's gone for 3-0. Joseph's gone for 2-0. Remember the 3-2 game last year, Apollo? Yeah, that was proper crazy, bro. That was crazy. I know, that was crazy as hell, man. And I think we were just going through the motions in that game, but man, what a game. Bree's gone for 2-0 Arsenal. 18's gone for 4-0 Arsenal. What's this? Post it. If Sancho has been signed, it would be like the previous season, Liverpool. They will have quality. Yeah, again, bro, you need defense to win championships. And I think that's what the guys were alluding to when they talked about the defense just not being up to scratch. Wow. Osman's gone for Arsenal 7-0. 7-0 against Aston Villa.
Nah.
That is big boy talk right there, my friend. Curtis,
he's talking about the women's team. It's a women's team he just made.
Curtis got for 3-0 there.
Leave the women's team alone.
Vinesh has gone for 3-0. Unbeaten struck the next 3 matches. Yeah, I think we're going to roll after that terrible month. 30th September, it was 1-1. Yeah, again. So Villa's tough to break down. They're a decent team. Tony.
So Villa's getting taken to the sword. I like that 7-0. It gives me the confidence to know, you know what, we should be looking at hitting teams like Villa at home for 6s and 7s, because that's the way we used to be. And what I see in Arteta is a rebuilding of that kind of team. Listen, some of our players can score you 10 goals a season. Some can score you 15. Some can score you 20. Yeah? We can emulate Liverpool and Man City. Those teams can score goals for fun against weak teams. So it's not something bad if we say we can resemble scores that we see the women's team score. 7-0 is not unachievable. personally, I think I'd go with a 4-0 against Aston Villa in this particular game, because I think out of the rest of the teams that we're playing, they're probably one of the weakest of that bunch of teams. They don't look to have solidified anywhere. So yeah, why not? Let's get some goals in. 4-0.
4-0. Man's going strong there, man. Man's going strong. And listen, let's not doubt our attacking prowess, guys. Pepe, Willian, Nketiah, Lacazette, Aubameyang, yeah? And not to mention Martinelli will be fit at that point. Let's not doubt where we are, guys, yeah? Teams are going to be afraid to match up against these. Look how much chances created Willian had last year, 7th in the league. You put that up against with Pepe, 40 chances created, and you've just got bare goals in this team right now. They're fixing a problem at Arsenal. They're fixing a weakness. And look, Bertram is smiling. Can't wait to get going there, man.
They must have took a year off last year because Aubameyang was the only one scoring. We had them last year, except William.
We need goals from the midfield, bro. We need goals from the midfield.
Yeah, but we didn't get goals from last year. Before Arteta took over, or just after that, we were one of the lowest scoring teams. With Lacazette, not with Nketiah, but with Lacazette and with Pepe, we weren't scoring goals. We're just as bad as the defense.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget last year, right? We had nothing, absolutely nothing out of Ceballos for 6 months.
Yeah,
he looked like a good baller, but he wasn't creating chances. He wasn't scoring goals.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah, it's important. This is a big year for Ceballos for me. And look, you know, if you look at the fact that Santi Cazorla's had 12 goals, Ramsey's had 11 goals, Ozil's had 12 goals, Arteta himself has had 8 goals. So you look at that midfield, and the midfielders always had goals. But last season, 1 goal from Xhaka, 2 goals from Ceballos. Ain't good enough, man.
So that's all good and done, but I pay my forward to score goals. Yes, I love going for my midfield, but if Pepe and Lacazette are scoring, less than 15 goals between the two of them, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, Willian had 11 goals and 9 assists last year.
No, but think about Willian. Think about what we had last year, which is Pepe and Lacazette were not scoring.
Yeah, and the thing is, Pepe had He had 8 goals. Martinelli had 10, and he didn't even play for half the season. So listen, I would love to see Martinelli get a role in the midfield somewhere so that he can play anywhere, man. I love Martinelli. Look at the African Gooner is dribbling right there. You could just see because he loves it.
I'm hoping he comes even before November. And you know, some players come before the actual due date, and I'm really hoping that's the case for him.
Yeah, because I'm hearing end of November, beginning of December at the moment, but we have to wait to see where we are on him. So guys, we are Aston Villa. Has anybody not gone yet? Bertram, have you done Aston Villa yet?
I say 3-1 Arsenal. I don't think Villa's going to be bad as last year. They've spent £51 million already and are still spending. I think Oli Watkins is a good player playing up front along with Grealish. So they'll improve their firepower. But we should be too strong for them. So I think we'll beat them 3-1.
Excellent. So, guys, that's Villa. 2 more to do now, guys. We've got Leeds United. So, Leeds United away, who I think are a really good team. We saw what happened when they were at the Emirates, and they marked us man-to-man, and that really took us out of our rhythm. It was a good test for Arteta as well, because you don't really come up against teams who play man-to-man in the Premiership a lot. Sheffield United does, and to a point, sometimes Wolves do, but then that's the reason why their results are so good. It's a very difficult system to play because it takes a lot out of your team. When you have that kind of mindset to play that system, you could lose your legs after 60 minutes. And I think that's what happened when Leeds was at the Emirates. We dominated that second half after being really on the back foot for most of the first half. So guys, Leeds against Arsenal. I'm going to go for, do they still play Ellen Road? I can't even remember. They've been out of the league for so long. I don't even know what they call this stadium anymore.
Still Ellen Road.
It's still Ellen Road. Right. So, guys, I'm going for a 2-1 Arsenal win. I'm going for another win there. 2-1 Arsenal win. Tony, you got the conch. Guys in the chat, throw your numbers up for Arsenal away to Leeds.
Yeah, I'm going to match you, Apollo. 2-1 away win.
And I'm matching that too. 2-1 as well for me, 100%.
Excellent. Ebony, you're up quick.
2-0. 2-0.
2-0 away. Excellent.
Away win.
So So what are the guys saying? So we've got Sydney, who's going with a 2-1 win as well. Okay. Andrew's gone for a 2-0 win away. 18's going for 2-1 again. 2-1 seems to be the number in the house. We've got Fasina's gone for 3-1. We've got Breed, who's gone for 5-2. That is astonishing. Remember the firepower in this Arsenal team, guys. Osman is going for 4-2 Arsenal. That's a mad thing. And Curtis has gone for a 2-0 win. Bertram.
I say 2-1 Arsenal. I think these will be the surprising team this year. I mean, they have had Rodrigo. They have lost Ben White, which is big for them. But I think Bielsa will drive them, and I think they'll do really well after them. But I still think expect us to beat them 2-1.
Excellent. So, guys, we've got the last one out of the first top 10 games of the season. Let me just see where I am. So, guys, I'm on 4 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses at the moment. So I think I might be pretty close to where you are, Tony. Tony, how much wins did you predict?
6.
Right. So I'm gonna the maximum I can have is 5 then. Okay. So. All right, I don't think we're going to beat Wolves. You guys know how I feel about Wolves. I thought we played them really well. Actually, you know what? Maitland-Niles on Traore, and we win this 2-1. I'm going for a win here. Sure. I'm going for 2-1.
That was quick. That was real quick. Changes mind real quick there.
I'm going for a 2-1 win. Maitland-Niles battering Armand Traore, and Jimenez disappears like he did last time, through the wealth and strength of Saliba and Gabriel, and it's like that. Yeah, it's like that. So that's where I'm going. 2-1. Let's have a look here. We got some scores. Andrew's going 2-1 as well. Sydney's gone 2-0 to Arsenal against Wolves. And remember, guys, Wolves are such a good team. I got more respect for them than any other team outside of the top 4. Tony, talk to me about Wolves.
So I've done my 2 losses, which was Liverpool and Leicester. My 2 draws are Man City and Wolves. I'm predicting a 1-1. I just think Wolves are just a nightmare to play against. They're just a strong team. They're very good, well put together team. They've got strength in all areas. So yeah, this is my other draw, 1-1.
Yeah, the biggest weakness is going to be their squad rotation, and that's why about 2 weeks ago I said to you guys, the Wolves, the Sheffield United, the Burnleys, the Evertons, the teams that were just in that 10-6 position are going to struggle because the season is going to be so condensed, and because there's going to be no winter break, no rest really, you're just going full tilt. I think those are the teams with the lack of a squad, they're going to be really feeling the metal. When players start going down with injuries, I think they're going to feel it. That's the reason why I think Arsenal, remember when I said to you guys we're only going to get rid of about 3 players, instead of everyone thinking 10 players were going to leave the gates. I just didn't see it. I think we're going to still be keeping a good set of players around. And we know Holding, we know Maitland-Niles, we know there's a few players now that we're looking at keeping. So, and it's just because you're going to have a hardcore season. We've got here some more coming in. What we've got here, we've got Osman. Osman said 3-3. 3-3. We've got Fussam is saying 2-1 Arsenal, 18, 2-1 to Wolves, Kuke, 1-1. We've got Zayed, who's gone for 3-0 Arsenal. I thought, yeah, he said 3-3. Yeah, I got that one already. Cage is just saying Etiteta can beat all these. But listen, one of the, I think it was, who was it that said we can win all 10 games? Yeah, anyway, somebody says it, and I just said I will wet myself if that happens, bro. We're winning the league if that. If we roll over Liverpool and Sheffield United and win the first 4 games, I'm done. I'm all in. I'm jumping on the bandwagon. Yeah, you can sign me up. Osman's going.
Yeah, with Thomas Partey in the middle.
You can sign me up, man, because you know what? I love Arteta that much. if you go back to all them years where I kept saying to everybody, the last great captain that we ever had was Arteta. People was like, nah, we were shit. You know, we were crap. Vieira was the last best captain. We got no spine. We got no, and I'm just like, these guys don't know what they're talking about. When we had Mertesacker, Coughlin, Arteta in there, we were rolling teams over. Our defense was solid. And I love what Arteta was doing in this team. I've loved him at City, and I've always wanted him as the manager as Arsenal, just like Tom Aston did. Bree saying 3-1 to Arsenal. Who we going with? Did Tony give you score?
Yeah, 1-1.
Okay, 1-1. African Gooner.
Yeah, I just want to point out that if we had signed Thomas Partey and Aouar before all these games, I would 100% tell you that we're going to win the league. I would be so confident in winning all these games. And that's a fair reflection, I think, that I would feel prepared, and I'd feel that we have the team that we need to move forward. Without those, though, I mean, yeah, as I said, 2 draws and 2 losses for me. The real sticking point for me is I think this game is much more important than we give it. For me, this will really tell, depending on how the other games go as well. But this specific game really will tell for me if we are going to challenge for top 4 or not. If we can't beat Wolves after 10 games of the season, forget top 4 for me. Because we need to be winning games like this comfortably for us to really be challenging for top 4, at least in my opinion. And I'm thinking 1-0 to the Arsenal against Wolves.
Nice one, nice one. Ebony.
I agree with you, Apollo. I respect Wolves much more than anyone else outside the top 4, even more than Leicester, to be honest.
Agreed. I totally agree. Totally agree.
All right. Wolves are quite tough, and this is a team that does actually park the bus. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 win.
1-0. Excellent. Excellent. So, guys, add up your points because this is the last one. So let's see where you are at the moment. Bertram, where are you going to go with this, bro?
So, look, I mean, Wolves are a difficult team to play. They did lose 1 player, but they added 2 players, including Fabio, was supposed to be fabulous. They paid 30-something million for him. So I expect them to be better next year with a year on their belt than last year. So I think it's going to be a draw, 1-1 draw. I think Wolves is always a very difficult opponent for us over the last 2 years, actually. They play us really, really well. They match up well against us. And even though we have improved, I think they'll have more transfers before the transfer window closes. They'll add more spine to their team. So I expect a draw.
Excellent. So, guys in the chat, put your points total out. Andrew's already done his. Andrew's got 21 points. D has got 20 points out of the first 10 fixtures, so that's 10 points dropped. Tony, where are you at the moment? I've got 18
I had 20.
points.
Oh, always said 20. 2 draws, 2 losses. So I'm on 20 points.
So my one's come up with 18 points. That's 5 wins, 2 losses, and 3 draws. African Gooner, where are you on yours?
Yeah, I did not see that Wolves game, so that's why I was at 17. But as Tony said, I had also 2 draws, 2 losses, 20 points. The only one I think that I might go to 18, Apollo, is that Wolves game. For me, that one is really iffy, but I'm going to be positive and say 20 points.
Excellent. Ebony, where are you with your scores?
I didn't actually calculate my scores, but I haven't got any losses. Put it that way.
Ebony's at like 30 points. 30 out of 30.
Wasn't she the one that said 30 points last time?
I think she's around.
I was optimistic against Liverpool and Man City. Remember that.
Yeah, yes, of course, of course.
Start the unbeaten banner going already.
Of course. So, guys, we've got.
What are we on? Unbeaten run.
Oh yeah, we haven't lost in a while, have we?
Yes. So it's about 4 or 5.
I don't think it's more than 5-6 games, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's about 4 or 5, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's Villa, isn't it? It's Villa.
Or Liverpool.
Yeah, it's Villa. So, Bertram, have you added yours up already? Let's go. Let me go to some of the guys in the chat. So we've got Osman's 25 points. We will lose to City and draw to Liverpool. 18, 21 points. A lot of you guys in the chat are doing better than we are. You're all on 20-odd points.
Optimistic.
Oh, he's got for 24 points. Kuke, 24 points. Bree has gone for 26 points. Jesus Christ. But Bertram, look at Bertram's hand over. You know, I remember when we were talking about What were we talking about? We were doing the player ratings, and Bertrand was seeing everybody throwing out 7s and 8s, and Bertrand was in the corner going, "Guys, we finished 8th. We finished." He was like, "Guys, we finished 8th. What? Where are you throwing? Where are these numbers coming from?"
So I do think we are truly fans. There's a reason why the word fans come from fanatics. You mean you're so set in your team and what your team does, and you're so supportive of your team. There is no objectivity in making decisions about winning and losing. It is Ebony is the clear indicator of this. Ebony's like, we're gonna win. I don't care what you say, we're winning. I don't care who we're playing, when we're playing or winning, or we're drawing. So having said that, given that I'm a realist, I have 18 points actually.
Same as me.
I have 18 points.
Hold on, Bertrand, weren't you the same as the 12 points that I had last time? Didn't we have the same?
I'm just trying to remember. But I'm 18 because I don't see us beating City or Liverpool. I don't see us winning all those games that people are saying. 26 points from 10 games with a team that's being built is hard to achieve, isn't it?
Yeah.
New defense, midfield, which is not optimum, a forward line, which is iffy if they're going to score goals. We have a good set of players. We have some stallions. We get more stallions. But it's not a well-rounded, well-oiled machine. Like Liverpool is a well-oiled machine. Now, if they get injuries, they're going to be challenging. So another thing we're going to factor in, injuries is the most important thing for all the teams.
Injuries is going to be the thing. Injuries will be the killer of our team. If we get the wrong injury at the wrong time, we're going to be stumped. And don't forget, with all these games coming thick and fast.
We've got one already, exactly. David Luiz.
Well, that's why when people are saying, why are you buying Awa? Why are you buying this player? Because Arteta came from a team which had two world-class players in every single position. That's why you see him trying to build a team which is not depending on any one player and which you can rotate your squad, because this year is going to be even more challenging given the games are going to come, one after the other. So he needs more players.
Okay, so we've got Sydney that's gone for 26 points. That's a second 26. Look, Bree went for 26 points. Fasum has gone for 24 points. Victor, I like that, Victor. A realism, brother. Realism, my brother. Victor's gone for 20 points. Listen, Osman, we are being positive.
Wasn't he the one who just did our defense crap?
So, guys, here's part of the problem. So now when you have this aspiration and this optimism of getting so many points and your team lose, you destroy them because you have this inflated view of where we are. And if they don't meet that expectation, then you totally destroy them. That's why Arsenal played better without the crowd. Our crowd are not necessarily supportive.
And then these guys end up running onto 101 forums and start doing I'm not even going to mention any names because I ain't trying to go there. But anyway, they start going into a meltdown on our forums. And which reminds me, guys, the guys in the chat, if you're not on our forums and you're not a member of 101, the description is in this video below. Go and check it out right now.
Fun.
Right underneath. You can see the description for 101 forums. Sign up in there. Name 5 players from the Invincibles, and I'll let you in. Yeah, but we've got Laurel here who's saying 20 points, so that's very realistic as well. Osman's actually given another prediction and said Aubameyang will score 29 goals. He scored 29 goals last year, bro, with no support. With Willian.
No, he says Premier League. He says Premier League, not overall.
In the Premier League. All right. So yeah, so that's
22 in the league.
That's big time. That's big time right there. So, guys, just before we go, we're going to go around the table again. I hate when I do this with these guys because it's too much pressure. We ain't bought that much players, in order for us to understand where we're going to be. But do you guys feel we're going to get into the top 4? Yes or no? Tony, top 4?
Yes. Expense of Man United.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Being top 4 this season.
That's exactly what I said. Because of their defense and because of their manager. African Gooner, top 4?
Yes, with Thomas Partey. 5th without Thomas Partey. I have to be real. We're just going to miss it. Just as usual, we're just going to miss it just because we didn't buy one player.
Game as well said 23 points as well, so we missed them out. Ebony, are we going to finish in the top 4?
Of course we are. Again, it's all about optimism.
I love it. I love it. Bertram, I'm holding you to this because your contingency to me, Bertram, was if we bought Party, you're on board.
Yeah, if we bought Partey and he doesn't get injured, we're making top four.
Oh, now you're thrown in. And if he doesn't get injured,
well, injuries. I'm telling you, if he get injured, it doesn't make sense. It's like if we never bought him.
But you can't keep moving the ball. You can't keep moving the goalpost.
But I'm saying if we buy Partey and our team produces based on their capabilities, we'll make top four instead of both Man U and Chelsea. I do think Chelsea hasn't fixed their defense. Man U haven't fixed their defense. So if Manigo bought Kubali, whatever his name is, that is much more challenging because then they'll have two good centre half, a great right back, an okay left back, and a dynamic midfield and forward line. They're going to be tough to beat.
So, guys, listen, that's it from us. Tony, where can we find you?
At Pugilist Boy on the gram, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook.
Excellent. African Gooner, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at African Gooner, and you can find me on the 101 on Arsenal Facebook group. Excellent,
excellent. And Ebony, where can we find you?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and 101.
Yeah, someone's just giving me some love here. Pepe's going to have a breakout season. You're damn right about that, man.
I think so.
Yes, sir.
Bertram, where can we find you?
You can find me on my couch on Saturday at 7:30 watching Arsenal playing Fulham.
And actually, guys, we are going to be doing the first game as a live watch along. So if you guys want to join us for that, you're more than welcome. I don't know anyone in the panel who's going to be joining me for that game, but we're going to have fun on the live streams, commentaries. We always have way much fun. I don't know whose stream is going to be out ahead. It's normally Bertram actually and Neomis and me and the African Gooner.
Neomis is always ahead. Neomis is the one always ahead.
Excellent, guys. So listen, that's it from us, guys. Thank you very much, everybody, for your participation. Always a pleasure to do the show with you guys, and you just make it so much fun. So much great feedback, great numbers, and great opinions, good questions from you guys, and we love to answer them. And I really appreciate that, guys. Big up to you guys. Peace, and I'm out.
Bye.
Arsenal sign players.